Hello, Charkie.
Hey, Cass.
Are you ready to laugh?
I've never been more ready to laugh than this moment right now. So you better deliver.
Well, I got some games in store that purport to, that contend, that ostensibly are here for our amusement. And, you know, the crazy thing is that they, you know, here's this wild idea. I'm gonna lay this on you. Have you heard of satire?
I've heard it, but I don't believe it actually exists.
Well, these games might be evidence of that. They might be proof of it. We're looking at parody games. I had like a idea in my mind of where to go with that, but fuck it. We're doing parody games today. We're going to do a little mini lesson on the history of parody video games. Games that purport to send up, to spoof other video games, genres of video games, specific games, the media landscape in general. So, some of this is going to be very dated. Some of this is going to be very dated. That is my fair warning for this stream. But we're going to get through them together. You and me and everyone watching in TV land, we will endure these parody games. And we'll maybe learn a thing or two along the way, as is my gimmick. This is an educational channel. Above all other things, this is an educational stream.
It's a PSA, it's a warning.
Yes! In this case, in the case of some of these games, absolutely. We're going to start with what I'm going to contend is the first parody video game. And that would be Board of the Rings, released 1985, published by Silversoft, and developed by a little studio called Delta 4 Software. We'll get into some of the other stuff they were responsible for in later years, a little down the line. But you look at this cover here. I know you can't see it right now, Charky, but the audience at home...
I can see it. I'm on Twitch, too.
Alright, very good. So, Board of the Rings was actually, at one point, it was a Harvard Lampoon parody of Lord of the Rings. Hello, thank you very much for the subscription, Hexymaniac.
Thank you.
You may regret that as we get into this game. But this parody game, which released on multiple different home computers, has nothing to do with that Harvard Lampoon publication. This came out some number of years later, and we're going to get into it. And let me get this out to you. Be good if you could see what I'm doing.
Yes.
And this is going to be the ZX Spectrum version. Why the ZX Spectrum version? Just because it's easy to emulate. I could have done like a C64 version. Maybe there's an MS-DOS version. Doesn't matter. The point is, this is Board of the Rings, designed by Fergus McNeil, copyright 1985, dedicated to you-know-who. This is a 3-floppy disker. And this is going to be a text adventure, because of course it is.
Oh, great.
So, Fordo stood in the party field under the great tent. Massive amounts of food lay heaped on the groaning tables. Hundreds of gate-crashing boggets floundered helplessly under the weight of their bloated stomachs. A hole in one side of the tent served as an exit. What was Fordo to do?
Now, the first thing I always test in these text adventure games is die. That's my first test. It's like, will the game just let me die off the bat?
I don't understand any of that. So, let's try something else.
I have no concept of death.
Do nothing. Foxsack asking, wait, do you know who the creator of this game is? Yes, but don't spoil the surprise. We're getting to it. It's good that you know, but just wait for me. Trust me. I do my research. So, I don't understand any of that. Bimbo stood on his chair at the far end of the tent. The noise quieted down to a dull roar. "My fellow Boggets," he began. There was a chorus of belching from the fellow Boggets. "As much as I'd love to stay and annoy you, I can't. So, goodbye." There was a large explosion which killed several guests, and when the smoke cleared...
Concept I don't understand.
Bimbo was gone. Fordo wandered outside. So we can travel in north, south, east, west. I think I want to go west. We'll start going west. And another... well, let me get this out of the way first, nice and early.
Looking at the guide.
Fordo was on the road beside the party field to the east and Fag End to the west.
Ooh.
1985, folks! The road led south through the quiet village of Boggington, or Boggaton. We'll go west again. And I'm gonna...
They meant cigarettes.
Yeah,
No.
they are British.
ZX Spectrum and all, yeah.
Thank you, Vega Baby, for the raid.
Friends.
You chose a hell of a
Good
time to
timing.
join. We'll go west again. We got some graphics this time. So this is not just text, it's a graphical adventure. Fordo stood in the comfortable tunnel-like hall of and a large green door opened out onto the miserable garden kept by Spam the gardener. At this point, Fordo noticed his Uncle Bimbo, Gandalf.
Bimbo Gandalf?
Why do I keep typing W, it keeps automatically entering. Oh, never mind. It's because some of this stuff that you type any letter and it just automatically moves on to the next.
Oh, okay.
But, so I was going to type wait, but it didn't even give me the chance to type wait. Because I am looking at the guide, and it's inaccurate in the sense that there's some certain things. Anyway, as he entered, Fordo heard the end of a conversation between the old wizard and his uncle, and so we'll need to get some dense lemming to take it and dump it where old Eyeball can't get it, said Grandolph. I almost said the right name, apologies. But what stupid individual can we get for such a suicidal folly as this? Bimbo stopped. They looked at Fordo. What was Fordo to do now? Now I think I will wait.
Shrug and say, what, me?
Shrug and go, doy. It doesn't even matter if you get stuff right or wrong. It's like, we'll keep this game moving.
The story's gonna go whether you want to do the story or not.
Catch, remarked Bimbo as he tossed a small gold ring-like object across the room. With an astonishing lack of deftness, Frodo caught it. Ah, you will take it, smiled Gandalf. Good, you must go to the black land of Dormor and destroy it. But go thou first unto Smelrond at Rivendell, and now I must go. I may see you. Bye! Good luck, favorite nephew, called Bimbo as he and the old wizard hurried away. Fordo's boggart friends arrived. What was Fordo to do now? This is some very punny writing.
So Vega Baby says, I've played the text adventure this is a parody of, and the game's funny enough on its own. This is a parody of a text adventure of Lord of the Rings?
Yes, the Hobbit text adventure is actually, or Lord of the Rings, I can't remember if it was the Hobbit or the Lord of the Rings specifically, but it was a major text adventure. I mean, this is a parody directly of that game, in a sense. It's a general style parody of Lord of the Rings, but the fact that that game was such a success definitely spurred this stuff on. We'll see more of this stuff as we go on. And I wasn't intending to play this for super long. I just wanted to give a sense for what the first parody game looked like.
I wonder, I'm going to guess, not really, if this is at all funnier if you're familiar with the source material. Because I am yeah, I know who Fordo and Spam and Bimbo and Grandolph are supposed to be.
As someone who is something of a Lord of the Rings fan, who's recently rewatched Fellowship of the Rings, and that's a great movie. No, I've read the books, and, it's not. So what does Fordo do now? Let's fart. Fordo did, everybody died. The end.
Hey, 10 points, though. It's worth it.
So, the thing that was alluded to earlier, that the geniuses, the comedic minds behind this game, would go on to create a little game by the name of Town with No Name.
Oh.
For the CD-TV and for DOS. So, quite a pedigree. Also, unfortunately, I added some point redemption things to the chat, and someone redeemed the Drink Up point redemption, so... Good time for it.
That's only 500 points?
Yeah, I don't make good decisions.
I have 13,000.
Oh, please, have some mercy on my liver. So that was
It
Board
could
of
be
the
my
Rings.
stream. I'm the only one left standing.
The quick way to get it to be your stream.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it, there's another... Come on, folks.
Yeah. I would say A, chat, have mercy. B, maybe change the the level on that later.
So, we're doing a little history lesson here. That's as much of Board of the Rings as we're going to play. This set about a series of adventure game parodies, text adventures, graphic adventures that went on throughout the years. One of the first ones, one of the first major ones, is Eric the Unready. I believe this is a 92 or a 90 release.
M for mature.
Yeah, I think the ESRB label is grafted on. This is probably like a re-release box, but this did fairly well as a general style parody of fantasy games. There's Donkey Island, which was a huge game in the Czech Republic, obviously parodying Space Quest. I could have come up with something funnier than that, but I'm already 2 drinks deep. So, Donkey Island, I think it got an English translation like in recent years, so you can find like an English version of this game if you're so inclined. I downloaded it, I thought about playing it for stream, but And I think this sort of stuff culminated with, there's The Bard's Tale, but I think before that there was Dink Smallwood, which is a game that still has like some very dedicated fans. Like you can find like modern source ports of this game that like have like HD textures and like all this stuff. And you know, I'm sure it's a fine little game. I'm sure it's very punny in the ways that you would expect.
Also, I know The Bard's Tale had like a remake back in the I want to say original Xbox era. Right?
Yeah, oh, so that's right. So there's The Bard's Tale that Rebecca Ann Hyman worked on, which is like a legitimate series of RPGs, and I meant the 2004, 2000-something A Bard's Tale. Okay. And that has been reported, re-released like 100 times over.
Yes.
Which is a lot of attention to pay for a game that is honestly kind of whelming, if we're being honest. But yeah, so a lot of these early parody games, the original lineage of parody games came from the world of text adventures, and they were mostly very focused on like the world of fantasy, because it was a very easy world to send up. But that's its own line. We could pursue that, we could go down a rabbit hole for hours. I want to cover like all different types of parody game though. And that's going to bring us to Parodius, which is a Konami joint, released for the MSX initially. And this was a parody of like some of their own games, effectively. You know, because at this point in time, the shoot 'em up was becoming like the go-to genre in arcades and on the home computers to that extent. So yeah, it made sense for Konami, who were like leading the charge on a lot of this stuff, to sort of poke fun at themselves with a game that. Wait, no, I don't want ColecoVision. I want MSX.
You're playing the MSX version?
Yeah, we're doing the original version of Parodius, because I'm not sure how many people have seen this. Probably more people than I reckon, especially people who would show up to a stream like this. I could probably assume that y'all have been around the block a couple times.
Parodius is good. I still play Parodius on PlayStation every now and then.
But have you played this original version?
I have not. I'd be interested in seeing how this looks.
I'll tell you, it's going to look like an MSX game.
MSX or MSX2?
MSX. Original. In the subtitle for this version, the game is The Octopus Saves the Earth. So they were really banking on the octopus character being like the breakout character of this game. We could sit through this intro. I can't read the intro. So how about we get into the game? We have character select here. So we have Taco the Octopus. This is Penguin, who is the father of the protagonist of Antarctic Adventure and Penguin Adventure. Okay. This is Goemon from the Goemon franchise and also Japanese history. Who the hell is this? Oh, Nightmare on MSX, which was another Konami franchise for a length of time. And then finally you have Vic Viper from Gradius. Who should we play as?
I always go with the Penguin. That's my favorite.
That works for me. Spacebar. Yeah, this is about what you can expect from an MSX shooter. Scrolling is maybe not the smoothest. I mean, the background elements look fine, but...
Oh, they don't tell you what the power-ups are as you're getting them.
No, you would read the manual, effectively, and you would just kind of, like, learn the iconography of it. And, you know, I'm not great at shmups on the best of days, so this might not be particularly long.
The first one should be speed up. If I know my Parodius / Gradius.
God willing, because this movement is a little sluggish. Also, if you can keep an eye on chat for me, it'd be greatly appreciated, because I'm going to try to last as long in this as I can. Which is not long!
Vega Baby says, I'm not familiar with the MSX hardware, but this doesn't feel like it's the best for a shmup. Yeah, I don't think this hardware was great at, like, things scrolling.
No, it's very tile-based, and they have, like, half steps for some of the tiles here, which aids a little bit in the smoothness. But, ultimately...
Video Game King followed up with, technically no, but developers like Konami and Compile and sometimes Hudson really figured out how to make shmups work on this system. Yeah, that was, like, an era of, like, especially shmup games that running on hardware that they had no right to be running on. And, like, they just still work somehow. Like,
this background scrolling here is particularly rough, I'm gonna say. That the tiles that comprise well, that was bound to happen sooner than later. I don't know why I thought I could pick up that penguin head.
Rido says, they say what the power-ups are in the bottom right corner, don't they? I was like, yeah, okay, we should just read that. That'll let us know what power-ups we have.
Let me play as Vic Viper. Maybe he moves a little faster out the gates.
You should probably not. I'm saying you should probably, like, redeem the first time you get one of those power-ups there. Probably redeem that now.
Is there a button to redeem it? It's not just an automatic?
Yes. There's a button to redeem it. You have to choose when, like, you want to cash in your power-up things, and then it'll go through.
I would love to know the key for that.
I mean, how many buttons could an MSX have?
It's a keyboard.
How many buttons?
Anyway, I didn't intend to play this for super long either. There are games that I'm going to spend more time on tonight than others. I just wanted to kind of set the stage for this. To show that, like, yeah, these games existed, that people would have... You know, is this necessarily something that people would have found funny, or that more would have appreciated for, like, being just a game?
I feel like for this one, it's... I think a lot of the humor would be looking at a thing like, ha! I recognize that. Or like, that's sensible chuckle, the video game.
That was legit me trying to play this game, by the way. That is how bad I am at shmups. This is not my go-to genre.
Actually, if you will excuse me for a moment, I'm still going to be on mic. I just can't see the screen. I want to go grab something.
Yep, by all means.
I just had an idea about this stream in particular.
And I'm going to give a more quick history lesson, by the way. So you go do that, and I'm going to cover a few more games. So, in the tradition of Parodius, a lot of other developers started looking towards their own, like, IPs, or publishers, I should say, in this case. So you start to get, like, you know, self-referential parodies, like, you know, this is Splatterhouse Wanpaku Graffiti. We're not going to play this, but it's a fun little send-up of the Splatterhouse arcade game, brought to Famicom, all chibi style, very adorable. So, you know, not necessarily a cute-em-up because it's not a shooter, it's a side-scrolling action platformer sort of deal, but it goes to show that these publishers are willing to poke fun at themselves. And
you can get that, I think, in one of the Namco collections they put out, kind of like in the past few years.
I would buy that.
There's like a volume 1 and 2. One of them has this game on it.
And then there's stuff like Star Parodius, which is another cute 'em up. This time, courtesy of Hudson Soft. You can see, like, the cover has Bombermen doing things, flying around in space, and the like. So, yeah, Vega Baby mentioning that the self-parodies are the ones that hold up the best, they feel. And yeah, when you have a trusted developer and or publisher, when you have someone who is, like, known for making quality product, and they take a look inwards and they see there's, like, stuff to sort of riff on, generally they're going to be a pretty solid hand on it, I would think. As we move into the 90s, parody games take a bit of a breather, especially, you know, in the likes of the Western world. You have attempts like Penn and Teller's Smoke and Mirrors, which doesn't come out, but is a collection of mini-games. Actually have the back of it here, too. Obviously, people know this because of Desert Bus now, and that being a parody of, like, simulator games. Someone didn't even redeem the drink up, but I might as well start drinking, because I know what's coming up. Mm.
Wait, I'll cover you. Wait, no, wait, I won't, because someone else in chat I'm sure will.
This is not what I'd really call a parody game. I guess it's not really a parody of video. I guess it could be in a sense. It's more of a prank game, is what this was intended as.
Yeah.
One of these days, we will dive into this and cover everything inside of it, because I do think it's an interesting curio, and I gotta admit, I kind of like Penn and Teller. You know, say what you will about their politicos, but they can be fun guys to watch. They're great showmen, and they had some funny ideas.
Desert Bus Marathon, baby.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening. So there's a bit of a dry spell as Japan is doing their takes on the parody game, mostly self-referential, mostly style parodies, mostly in the Q-em-up genres like Choaniki, right, and a bunch of stuff I didn't bother getting the covers for this. But then there starts to be a sort of comeback in North America with home computers in particular, the ability to put software out there to publish it for cheap on CD. And, you know, there's a little game called Myst that comes out that kind of changes the entire landscape and makes PC games like a force to be contended with. And it is like a million seller, which gave a certain publisher a horrible idea. And leads us to Pyst, which also becomes a huge seller, believe it or not. And I want to chalk this up to... oh, there's a drink up. I want to chalk it up to where these games were available. Like, I remember seeing these games all the time in Staples back in the day. They weren't selling it to the gamer crowd. They weren't selling it to, like, game players. They were selling it to, like, office workers who were on their computers all day long and would just, like, be looking for ways to kill time in their cubicles, right, when their boss isn't looking. That's how Elf Bowling became a thing. People emailing each other that little executable. And there's an article up on the site about the whole history of Elf Bowling. But for now, we're jumping into Pyst.
See, with Pyst, I would have thought, like... Because I remember hearing that when Myst came out, there were the very early capital G gamers who were mad at Myst because they're like, oh, it's bringing casuals into it. And I would have thought Pyst would have been like, yeah, you're right. Like, all these casuals, you know, play this, gamers.
Yeah,
like...
no, not quite. I mean, that crowd definitely existed. There were people who were deathly afraid that Myst was going to, like, ruin games. The same way people were worried about, like, the walking simulator scourge. Myst was the original that, in a sense. We're loading up a virtual machine here, by the way. Yeah. I don't love Myst either, by the way, but to say that it was going to kill gaming was obviously wrong. This is my Windows 98 machine.
I like Myst, but I don't like playing Myst.
Yeah, you know, it's fun in concept, and it set a bar, it set a standard, and it got a lot of people interested in PC gaming. I see a highlighted message from Frappe Fiasco. True story, when I was at GDC one time, we met one of the people who created Pyst, and my friend who had never heard of it excitedly exclaimed, yes, it's about time someone took Myst down a notch. And Big B.Gov says, I guess people at the time just missed the point. Boo.
Frappe Fiasco, though, I'm surprised you met John Goodman. That's cool.
So, we'll get to that in the game. I just realized that this resolution, this 1024 by 768, ain't gonna work, and neither is my little active desktop. So let's go ahead and get the settings that we're gonna need for the next several games. 256 colors, 640 by 480 pixels. There we go. Now that's computing right here.
Now, I remember hearing about these games, like specifically the Parody games.
Yes, this is Parody Interactive.
I remember hearing about them back in the day from, like, GamePro. Like, they like to advertise these or put, like, previews of them in there for whatever reason. And I bring that up, partially, because I brought in 2 GamePro magazines.
Oh!
One from 1997 and one from 2001. They're both the April edition. Because they wanted to get into the parody game themselves, and every April they had Lame Pro. A couple of pages that were their own parodies of video games, like fake, like, previews and reviews for things they've made up. And let me tell you, I thought they sucked then, and they still suck now.
They suck forever.
It was then I realized that I was on a trip that could only end in one one place, and there it was, below me, Pyst Island, ravaged by the 4 million who had been taken...
So there's a lot of spoken word in this game.
Yeah, I realized I was talking over it.
No, that's fine. Most of this, we're not missing anything, I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
There's one thing we don't want to talk over. I'll let you know when that happens. This
Sure.
is not even the first missed parody, as was pointed out in chat. There was a few others before this, including, I think the first was Milk, spelled M-Y-L-K, which I believe was a freeware game that got around, like, you know, IRCs or, like, BBSs. I think there was Mist, spelled M-I-S-S-E-D. Yeah, there was a number of missed parodies, but this is the one that really took off because they sold it commercially, like I said, at your Staples and so forth. So a lot of very casual consumers picked up on it. This is Pyst.
Yeah.
We can click on things on the screen.
Oh, it's a rat. I guess, I mean, if I had to rate that rat, it would be...
Good.
Very good. And you see that seagull? It took a dump, man. That's hilarious. Don't expect anything above lowbrow here.
How many poop jokes are we going to see tonight?
I'm going to skip past a lot of them, but here's another
Okay.
one.
Ah, yeah.
Formerly known productions in association with Brand Loyalty presents Be Scared or Be Squared, a Pyst post-punk rave.
So you would play this in the office, huh?
You would have your headphones on.
Okay.
Man, the audio sure is skipping on this. That's alright. So the gimmick of this, in case we talked over, in case they really, like, mentioned it in the intro, I don't know if they did, because I was half listening to it. I was more interested in what you had to say than the game itself, is that this is Myst Island after it's been visited by millions of players.
Iggy Popcorn, 3139 Mobius Circle, Cleveland, Ohio. Yo, Iggy, this place is so wrong, it's cool. It is max trashed, which is a statement from our generation, or something. Why don't you
Is it
blow your
bad
brains
that I
out,
already
Steve
find this
Iggy?
intolerable?
Sean,
No, that's a normal reaction.
get a tetanus shot first.
So, every screen has a couple of these postcards where you read comments from people who have visited Myst Island and their take on it now that it's filthy. There's, like, a concept here. There's a premise. And I should mention, this was written by comedy writers. I believe it was the Fire Sign Theater, who were friends with John Goodman. John Goodman was, like, a satellite member of that group, which is how they're able to get him. We'll see him shortly. I should mention that you can just go between screens by going left and right here. You don't click on anything in the world to traverse or to progress. These are just little interactive animations and stuff. All the actual progression is handled by going left and right.
Not quite as technically advanced as Myst.
No, not as much gameplay either. Look who it is.
I'm King Mattress, ruler of Pyst, and I know who you are. All the world's a game, and you're a pest. No, player, and all the players merely pest. As long as you're here, take the tour. No, take the tour, but don't steal anything. Yes, that's it.
I don't remember this being as stuttery before. Let me make sure I'm in the right version of this virtual machine.
Gotcha.
But, yeah.
So, God, this is such a nerdy thing to say, but do you think they even played Myst? Like saying, like, the King of Myst.
I mean, they have 3 characters here. This is the right version of the virtual machine. It's just a little skippy right now. We have the 3 different characters that you would presumably pursue. So that is a, you know, you'd have to play Myst to know that.
Welcome to my island. Think of me as your host. I'm a lot like Mr. Rourke on Fantasy Island, only taller and less Latin.
It was dated back in the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, 96. But it doesn't sound a day above 94.
Hesitate to come back and ask. I'm always looking to make new friends and have a good time.
Oh god.
I've
Old School Lag says, by the way, if anyone is tempted to track down Driven the Seagull to Pyst, don't.
Never came out. They had demos on some
yeah.
of their other games that you could play and sample, but ultimately did not release.
Oh, you.
What a shame.
Sorry that you startled me.
Video Game King asking, anyone who's played Myst, is there a reason why all three characters are wearing conspicuous red lipstick? That's just a color depth thing. That's because this is 256 colors, and the reds really pop when you're doing color depth reduction for like these FMVs or whatever, for these ultra compressed FMVs.
And I'm not ready to talk to you right now. So go away.
So yeah, they cover like the two main princes who are like leading you down a primrose path, and you have the king, who is the good one, theoretically. But really, you're not working for any of them in this. You're not really doing anything in the way of like quests for them or seeking to free them from whatever. There is no gameplay in this. There are no puzzles in Pyst.
So a speedrun of this game would just be clicking the right side of the screen as fast as you can.
Yes!
Double feature week at the Pystplex tonight.
I always gotta do it. I gotta check speedrun.com.
How's the family? It's going into turnaround, and Astrid wants custody of the...
Someone please redeem a drink up, by the way. It's I'm begging for it now, please.
Oh, that's right. Astrid wants
Nope.
custody of my inner...
There is no category for Pyst on speedrun.com.
That's new. And Pyst 2001.
Can't believe it.
Sex and science-
Also, by the way, I
Oh, thank God.
have put a pause on the suggest a poll redemption thing because I don't know how to do it,
We'll figure it out.
and I'm
Oh,
not
no.
going to spend this stream figuring it out.
Multiple people at once.
I guess
Two.
I got to do it too. I have a Red Bull, so I'm doing the opposite.
3. Oh, I love water.
Hi, we're back. I'm Rank Grindel, and our Pyst Public Television fundraiser is in its 300th hour. If you pledge 100 pizzazz now, you'll get all 25 video...
Okay, that's enough of this. Let's get to some screens that actually have what would pretend to be puzzles here. See, this is reminiscent of something from Myst.
I guess it's the...
Virgin, which you're not. But if that's your story, I'm not telling. Beware of other Virgos who approach you with the same flimsy lie.
You know how you're going to know the name of the directors because I always forget it. Movies like The Naked Gun and Airplane.
Yeah, Zucker, Abrams, and Zucker. It's Zaz Productions.
Yeah. That in their movies, like, they, like, it's stuffed, like, end to end with jokes. There's, like, always a joke happening. And they're great. They're good, great movies. And, like, they're just so dense with jokes. And this seems also dense with jokes. And I hate it. Because it's so dense. They want to throw so much at you to make you laugh, and, like, none of it lands.
This is a fully loaded F-18 simulation. Wear the VR goggles and go waste those alien sandworms. Hacker X.
Johnsky asks, is that supposed to be the dentist chair room? That was like, this was like the observatory.
Yeah,
Right?
it could be. It could be.
On
It can
top
go
of the
either way.
library?
It's not really committed to any sort of, like, you know, continuity or accuracy to the source material. But yeah, no, the difference with those movies and this is that those movies are not steeped deep in their references. Usually they're like very
That's true.
simple sight gags. They don't require too much outside knowledge of like media surrounding it. Like, you know, Airplane is a style parody. It is, you know, a parody of like a specific movie in that it's a shot for shot almost recreation of it, you know, parody of it, but you know, and it parodies like some of the general tropes, but you also don't need to have watched that original movie or any of those movies to appreciate the jokes in it.
I can't open the freaking...
Also, like, I really like when, like, something is, like, just really dense with jokes, but the trick is, at least some of them gotta be good.
Dear Mary at girlschool.com. I don't usually reply to wonderful one-timers like yourself, but you're
Are you interested in some of Lame Pro's offerings for their jokes?
I will be in a second. First, let me
Okay.
do a little Easter egg here that I remember.
Oh.
We blew open
Can
the
you-
wall.
Addict, Gamers Anonymous. Meeting every night in the tower, if you can find us.
Gamers!
Well, that's forward thinking. First use of the word gamers.
Historically, with a Z and everything. And, you know, there's little, like, descriptions of each room that I could click on here.
Library, the central edifice on Pyst Island.
I could never figure out libraries.
They're for books, Bob.
Oh, well, somebody must like books a lot at Octoplex because they're completely restoring this place, and that's going to cost a lot of money.
Yes, but
Okay, enough of that.
Okay.
How about we just skip to... We take a maybe look at some of these backgrounds for like a second. This one I think has like a bunch of different little FMVs in it. This TV, a bunch of commercial style parodies, which you know, like in Myst, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Are you changing the channels
Yes,
yourself, or is
I am.
that okay?
Hold it. Exhale.
Now that's an exercise I can get behind personally, but
Okay, put him out.
Did not actually smoke.
Coach Peck Buffer. People walking around this...
okay, that's enough of that. Oh, this looks like a puzzle room. Maybe there's some gameplay here, and a cute little rat fella.
The Fenstration dude says, this game is now making me think of jazz punk, which does that sort of constant barrage of references and jokes thing, while also having like actual adventure game-like gameplay. I get what you're saying, but saying jazz punk in the same breath as this game sounds
Is a
weird.
disservice to
Yeah.
Pyst, clearly. The superior product. You know, it's occurring to me now, it probably could occur to me before the stream, but trying to riff over bad comedy.
But it's, again, you said this is a public service stream.
Yeah, it's an
This is
educational
like-
stream. Oh, Old School Lag's mentioning The Looker, which you played for us in the Discord a while back, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. They said it was the most affectionate parody, the best, most affectionate parody they've ever played. And yes, I thought that thing was very funny. I should have included that.
It is very funny. I'm not sure if I would call it affectionate, but it's very funny.
So,
I mean, hell, you wanna append the Looker to the end of this?
we might, depending on how much time it takes to get through some of these.
Okay.
Wait for it. That's the closest thing this game comes to like having like something interactive actually affect the world for more than just like a second.
I also feel like the kind of like complimenting a 3-year-old's drawing kind of thing, where I was like, "Oh, that was close to a joke."
Close but no
The
cigar.
thing falling? Yeah, there was that was a cute little sight gag. Good job, Pyst.
They really thought that dragon bit was hilarious here.
Yep.
This is it, the final screen. You can't go any further than this. If you wanted to speedrun, it would just be clicking right several times over. And if we want to complete the game, there's only one thing you can interact with in this entire room.
That's much better. You know, it's very stressful being the king.
God, I wish this wasn't skipping so much.
Yes, I am the king of the game, and I have many secrets. For instance, I could show you a whole other side of Pyst.
Closing out a bunch of stuff to see if somehow it's a RAM issue.
No. Yes, you haven't. And you won't, because I'm saving it for the sequel. Aren't hot tubs wonderful? I could sit here and enjoy the fact that you'll be leaving soon. No, very soon. No, now. Bye.
And that would be the end of the game.
How much would this have run you for back in the day?
Probably like 20, 30 bucks. Clicking on the click here, but it's actually pointing to the wheel, you see. So yeah, how many screens is that?
Wheel.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 screens worth of gameplay.
So $2 a screen. Actually, that's not that bad.
Yeah, value proposition wise, for the seconds of enjoyment you get cumulatively throughout the entire experience.
Professor Gaskin asks, I wonder if Goodman remembers this.
Which old school
Not a
lag
chance
says.
in hell.
Old school lag says, I bet Goodman remembers the song. Funny you should mention that.
I'll shut up for here, right?
For a little bit. For like a minute. Let me crank this.
That's skipping.
Yeah, you know, I think I know what the issue is. We'll come back to this in a second. Bear with me. Because I do want to get the Pyst theme song in.
Right. Well, while you troubleshoot that,
yes,
I can tell you about Lane Pro issue 5.
Please do.
So we got, oh boy, I just read the first thing on this thing. So they offer a bunch of no reviews in this issue, including, I'm not even going to read this one out loud. This one's just offensive. I'm going to skip. We got President Evil, Planet of the Apes, Scab, the Pickable Assassin.
Ugh.
Who remembers Scud? That reference.
Yeah,
lived.
vaguely.
Were Gods, Super Mario Kart Traffic Jam, Final Dumb 64, WWF In Your Mouth, 2-Pack Dinosaur Killer, Dallas Cowboys in Need for Speed. Parody, I think, is possibly one of the lowest forms of humor.
Yeah.
It has the potential to be the lowest form of humor.
And boy howdy, do people live up to that potential a lot of the time. More often than not. God damn.
Still skipping.
This is really gonna mess up the stream if it doesn't, because half these games are on here. I'm gonna try one more thing real quick.
Gotcha.
And hopefully
they do have a review for WWF In Your Mouth, which is just screenshots of WWF in your house, but the ring has been edited out, and they're just pictures of mouths and teeth.
Ew.
They have Hick Warrior 2, Ghost Bear's Daddy.
Oh yeah, my favorite.
There's just a picture of a shed. And there's a screenshot of Mech Warrior 2 with a hillbilly on it. And they advertise Scary Larry's new 900 line.
Call now.
Yeah, for only $3 a second. I always hated the April issue of this magazine.
No, why?
I always dreaded this issue. And then as it went on, they just added more and more pages. Like that was just one page front to back. This is 1, 2, 3. Well, the next one is 2 pages, which feels like 1,000.
All things told in the grand
Yeah.
scheme of things. All right, cross your fingers.
Oh, this one's almost a joke. Yeah. Not really.
I'll look this up on YouTube if I have to. I don't give a shit. We're hearing the Pyst song.
Yeah, go for that. YouTube
Come
it is.
on. How does this happen? This was doing just fine when I was previewing it earlier.
It could be OBS.
It could be OBS's hooking into this application, and... Oh, that's brutal. It's gonna make the next few games really fun. Tell you what. I'm gonna load up the Pyst song, and while I troubleshoot this in the background...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind that. Don't look at that too long. YouTube. And let's hope there's no embarrassing recommendations on my front page. Pyst song. Let me unlock the media tab, and let's have a listen.
Watch Brutal Moose. We're React streamers now.
Here in my living room, and I just can't seem to shake the glue. I'm pissed. Man, I just can't change my ugly mood. Yes, I am one unhappy dude. I'm pissed.
This was not worth the effort.
My big TV, but no one up there looks like me. Makes me pissed. I change the channel, switch to switch, get the same old stupid pitch. Damn, I'm pissed. A bunch of oily soup.
If I full screen it, will that do anything?
Not doing it for you?
Whoa, I'm pissed.
I mean, it sort of works, but
Maybe my ill mood would improve if I put my gym shoes
I can't hear anything because of the way
yeah, I know.
our stuff is set up.
do it.
And this is a song
That's
sung by John Goodman, produced by one Eddie Betos.
But I
There's some
Chad,
backup
your homework is to go
singers.
Your homework is to go Google it yourself.
Yeah.
But the only thing that's biting is the skeeters and the flies.
Folks, it's still September if you want to subscribe.
Shut the fuck up. Okay. Yeah, it's 3.5 minutes long if you looking for a way to blow 3.5 minutes of your time. Yeah, I mean, so how much do we know how much John Goodman was paid for this? Not enough. I mean, he was friends with the people who made the game, who wrote the game at the very least, so you know, I'm seeing maybe someone can help with this. I'm seeing a percentage usage for PCEM in the top left corner. It's like 93, 94. It's never hitting 100%. So does that mean that it's shorting itself on RAM? Does that mean that it's only using like 5% of my CPU and like 300 megabytes of RAM, which is not much, all things told. I wonder if that has something to do with it. If we have any PCEM experts who can help maybe diagnose this, you'll be
the
loved.
cork thing. I heard the cork and I just looked at chat and saw the
Yeah.
redemption.
Let's go into the next game.
Sure.
Let's see what happens. This whole thing could be a disaster, an unmitigated disaster, but you know, that's the Bad Game Hall of Fame stream. We're going to jump into Star Warp next, which is another Parody Interactive game, which requires using this virtual machine. This is a parody of, you guessed it, Star Trek. No, it's a parody of Star Wars. That's my little parody. That's my sense of humor.
I
Out.
legit thought it was going to be a parody of Star Trek. When you said Star Warp, I was like, yeah, they probably fucked up the title.
Oh my god, this is even more stuttery. Okay. Tell you what.
Yeah.
I really need to work this out. I really need to figure out, like, something, because if we can't get this up and running, if all these things are having the same issue of stuttering, I hope to God it's not just an OBS thing, but I'm going to look at this. I'm going to look into this for a minute. So I'm going to put up a brief little intermission screen while I hopefully troubleshoot some of this. So back momentarily. Talk amongst yourselves.
You know what I'm on.
Alright, Charkie's on now. I saw a suggestion from the chat from Frappe Fiasco saying that Charkie should entertain the crowd. I want you to read some more of those Game Pro excerpts. Well,
What do you mean lame pro?
Oh, I'm sorry. How dare I disrespect it?
Okay. So, this one's from April 2001.
Good year.
I will start with the one here that I think is the closest to actually being a joke. They advertised Canceltavania for the Dreamcast.
But Tish.
Closest to actually being a joke.
There was a canceled, I don't know if you know this or not, but there actually was a canceled, I had the prototype for it, the canceled Dreamcast Castlevania game that got dumped recently-ish.
Yeah, so is that closest to being a real joke?
Yeah.
But other than that, they have Four-Eyed Dragon Ball Z, which is just a dragon wearing Goku's gi and wearing glasses. That's the joke. They have Alien versus Predator, Elian, like Alien Gonzalez.
Oh my god! What year was this? 1990?
2001.
Fuck off.
In the Company of Army Men, Lap Dance Dance Revolution, Tekken Freeze Tag Tournament, Breath of Fire 5, Waiting to Exhale.
Oh, we were expecting a reaction to that one.
I paused and like looked off into empty space when I read that one out loud. Like, what? What? Bobby Knight's NCAA SmackDown. The World is Quite Enough, Thanks. The Sims Sons. Duke Nukem Whenever.
Let me spare you, because I
was
might
crazy.
have this working.
Okay. Give it a shot.
I switched this over to Voodoo 3. So this is the power of Voodoo 3 in emulation.
Sounds better. Uh-oh.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
What?
No, okay, sounds better. It's like little teeny tiny stutters every now and then. But it's not as bad as it was. By far.
It was the best of times. It was Aaron.
What? Oh, okay.
Was that Here Comes the Bride?
Lolita.
Yes.
Jeez,
And Brian Posehn
cut it out.
of Mr. Show fame.
Kill joke.
A long time ago in our very own galaxy, a movie called Star Wars was released, changing all of our lives forever.
I'm gonna try a couple more things.
Two dorky stepbrothers in Modesto, California, Brian and Aaron.
That would be us.
Since that day, Brian and Aaron have remained holed up in their bedroom, devoting their lives to
How many
one
games did
passion.
Parody Interactive make?
4.
Thanks
But
to their tireless
that's-
pursuit of artifacts, including illicit
That's less than I thought, but merciful.
Not to mention their own technical and artistic prowess, Brian and Aaron have amassed an unsurpassed collection of never-before-seen, top-secret Star Wars paraphernalia and games. After 2 decades, they've played more games than Tracy, this girl from my neighborhood. She was a total tease, you know the type. She'd act like she totally liked you, so you'd take her out a couple of times.
You paying, of course.
Then nothing, not even a kiss, nothing.
Yeah, she wouldn't even make eye contact.
Skirmius is really low in the mix. Let's see if I can boost it a little bit more.
What we're about to see is the product of 20 years of tireless obsession and vitamin D deprivation. It's more than just a life's work.
It's our mission.
This is as good as it's gonna get, in terms of audio, in terms of stuttering. Thank you for bearing with us here in the
Yes.
Bad Game Hall of Fame.
You're welcome.
So, I own this on physical media. I have this disc somewhere. I could find this disc if I went into my fucking attic. I could find this. I played this a lot.
Did you buy it at the time, like when it was new?
Yeah, no, this would have been like 97, 98 when this came up. Drink up!
You played this a lot. That implies you enjoyed this.
I thought this was funny at a moment in time in my life.
Or CD-ROM.
This is also the same time I thought Garfield was the funniest comic in the comics, in the funny papers.
Anyway, we've got some really cool Star Wars stuff.
You know, when I was like
Some that we've made ourselves.
probably
We,
10, I
borrowed
guess.
from our sister
So it would have been probably around this time.
And
I collected like
wired from
newspaper comic
So anyway,
books,
for the
like I
purposes
guess
of
the trade paperbacks, if you will.
Brian,
And I really liked Dilbert, and I don't
I
have
did too!
any idea.
I was
I
the
have
same
no
way. I
idea
thought it was
why
funny
this-
because they
yeah.
mentioned computers. And I'm just like, I like computers. This is the
Like, why
comic
would
for
I
me.
think that was fun? Why would I think it was funny though? It was Office Work humor. I was 10.
Yeah, no, I even bought Scott Adams' fucking books.
Me too. Fucking me too. Wait, hold up. I have his books like right the fuck over here.
I have them in the other
I know
room
where
right
they
now. They're in the attic room I mentioned earlier.
Super secret.
On top of this stack right here is the Dilbert Future.
Are we best
Arriving on
friends, Charky?
business
Are we
Are
like the
we?
same person?
Now,
I'll
is this the
fucking
one-
drink to that.
And then he has predictions of the future in the back in chapter 14.
I remember this.
And then one of his predictions was the theory of evolution will be scientifically debunked in your lifetime.
All the signs were there from the start. Fuck.
We're rubbing
probably in our home right
Okay, we're doing anything except talking about fucking Star Warped right now, but...
I don't know. I got excited about the whole, like, yes, another dumb shit who thought Dilbert was funny as a kid.
I never had a dill burrito, though. I never went that far.
I couldn't find him.
Yeah?
Is this the book where he, like... Yes, this is. It's the one where he proposits that, like, gravity isn't what we think it is. Gravity is actually the effect of everything in the universe expanding. Like, everything is, like, literally every single thing is growing. So if you jump up, the Earth and you grow and you just meet again.
I think that was a Neil Adams theory as well. Neil Adams, who drew a lot of Batman, I think he was also, like, a weirdo who believed in, like, weirdo physics like that and stuff about, like, the creation of the universe that was completely factually, scientifically, like, debunked.
All of our most prized and never before.
We should play the game for a little bit. We'll talk about this after the stream. We'll commiserate on our wasted childhoods. That's real life bonding right there. Everyone in this room is bearing witness to like a major moment. Two people coming together and realizing they had the same stupid interests as kids.
They bought the same dumbass book about gravity just being everything in the world growing.
Anyone?
Alright, we've got to type a name in. Do I have caps lock on? Is it just not recognized? Out there.
We'll just have to do it for you. Nerf herder.
You snooze, you lose. Enjoy the game, nerf herder.
We took so long, they filled in our name for us. What a shame.
Oh, that's a you don't know Jack joke.
Do not touch. Well, I never do what I'm told.
Anyway, what's this game? I got distracted. I actually had to walk away and wash my hands after touching that book. I was like, I don't know where this thing's been.
Aaron, hurry up and fix it. It's dark.
So this is Brian Posehn, an other person who is probably a stand-up comic, as two Star Wars nerds who have a collection of Star Wars memorabilia and unmitigated access to all things Star Wars, and they want to take you through the collection. This is before we had the new trilogy, so all these jokes refer explicitly to episodes 4 through 6. We can navigate around their house, around their living space. But the big thing about this game is the ranch cam. And they're going to explain it right here.
Fortunately for you, fellow Star Warsians, Aaron and I have been the eyes and ears of Skywalker Ranch. When Mom dated that home security installation guy, he gave us the tech info we needed to patch into the ranch's security camera system. In exchange, he asked only that we make our mother agree to stay at least 100 yards away from his home and his family at all times.
We've taped 8,760 hours worth of video from the ranch. February 2nd, 1985, 1:15 a.m., Hallway 7 cam is my personal favorite.
Aaron, would you pick favorites among your children?
Well, no. Well, not that I'll have any, but no.
But, Tish, Aaron is played by Robbie Rist, a.k.a. the voice of Michelangelo in the live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, according to Codeman38. So that's good to know. It's a good comedy partner for Brian Posehn to riff off of.
Camera icon whenever it appears. Don't worry about leaving your current activity. We'll make sure you won't lose your place. We'll bring you right back to where you left off.
Like us, if you enjoy watching them over and over...
Alright, so skip that. Let's see the actual...
Alright. Comedy!
Hey, Ben, what do you want to do today? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I asked you first.
Can I just run an ad break during this? Can I start running Twitch ads just, like in the middle of gameplay when there's scenes that just aren't working?
Now, I heard that Cork, and I did not see a donation come in, so it must be pretty dire.
You know, I'm starting to get the hang of this dark side stuff. Woohoo! High five.
There's like 50 of these fucking videos in the game.
Listen, folks, comedy's hard. Sometimes your jokes just don't land, and sometimes you put out an entire collection of your jokes and sell it for $20. And none of them land, but you know, what you gonna do?
Look, I'm well familiar with jokes not landing. It's my life. I want to go to Ranch Cam. Let's count how many clips there are in this game, because I think they show you like a straight up selection screen. 30!
Oh, fuck.
There's 30 of those, and they keep popping up like intermittently throughout gameplay, but that's not the main appeal of this. We are unfortunately going to spend a little more time on this one than we are on...
Mr. Wishy-Washy, stop. Make a decision, okay?
Alright, let's go to the bedroom. I do want to take a look around the house here. Something I thought was very funny back in the day is that there's these posters up.
I traded some blue jeans on the black market to get this little gem.
Apparently there's political undertones to it, but I don't know much about politics. Unless it involves the Imperial Senate, of course.
Yeah. Aaron used to think the domino principle was that if your pizza wasn't delivered in a half hour, you got it for free.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
Tsar Wars, the victorious rise of the socialist rebel space workers against an evil imperial dictatorship. There's a few of these...
Then why is he holding the... Why is he...
Because they didn't think the joke out. Because they didn't really plot this out. Bob and Air asked, how well do games like these sell? John Skew said they kind of didn't. Parody didn't last long. No, Pyst did very well. It emboldened them to make these, like, 3 more games. And I think they sold okay. Because, again, they sold... And not the usual spaces. They sold, like, at Staples, like I mentioned. Or just, like, any, like, Best Buy, Fry's, places like that. And there they sold pretty decently, because people who would just be like interested in like the premise alone, like the concept of it.
Italy to get this baby. We convinced our high school chess club to go on a special tour.
I remember like getting games like at Staples, and it was always, or Office Depot, whatever it was. It was always very strange what they decided to put in there. Like I got Driver from there.
I got Tomb Raider from it, from a Staples. I distinctly remember getting the pyramid-shaped box for Tomb Raider from a Staples back in the day. She's in love with him, but he's in love with her. She doesn't realize that he's her brother, but soon they'll both find out that Darth Vader is her father, which is a big surprise to him and her.
Fucking spoilers, Jesus.
Yeah, I know you've been wanting to get to these Star Wars movies. I told you had to watch them before the stream, but I guess you didn't get around to it.
I've been watching them in the cut that everyone says you're supposed to watch them. You watch the newest 3 first, and then you watch the prequel 3, and then you watch the Disney Plus movies. And then you play the educational video games, and then you get around to the original trilogy last. I just didn't have time to do that.
That's true. I did give you short notice for this, so it is understandable. You can't watch things at 2 times speed like I do. It's not for everyone. So this game actually has minigames built in. This is about the quality of them.
I was semi-excited for you to get to the actual games part of this, and now I'm not so excited.
There is one here that I think is might still be mildly amusing.
Can you move at all, or is it just you're in the center?
I skipped the level. It was gonna give me a rank, but I accidentally skipped it. Anyway, that's a mini game in this game. Let's look at the last poster here.
This rare Japanese Return of the Jedi poster is really hot. To get it,
ha! Nerds love Japan.
Most families never pick this up.
Still, it was totally worth it. The Japanese really know what they're doing.
They certainly know how to objectify a woman.
I don't know. I think of her as more of an object d'art.
Object this.
Ow! Ow! Stephanie, stop! Hurting! Ow! Hurting!
This is the worst one of these we've done.
Yeah.
I was there for all episodes of Wanted Dead.
Oh, I accidentally pressed panel. I actually want to go back to the bedroom because I want to. We have the selection of minigames on the left-hand side, but there's actually a few more than is advertised there. I want to go on this computer.
I still take issue with the fact that you said you wanted to go back to this. In any
Well, I didn't remember how bad it was.
It can get pretty lonesome once Brian drifts off to sleep.
You can't do that.
Yeah, you played this a lot as a kid, right?
Yeah, and for my sense of humor, I guess. For the worse. Alright, Dork Forces. I remember this being vaguely amusing.
Weird hidden level I found. It's odd because Kyle Katarn doesn't have any weapons. Camera. Click the mouse and see how many photos.
I assume this is back to what I was saying about my watch order of Star Wars. Boatman says, shouts to that one AI-written Gizmodo article with a, quote, chronological... Chaz keeps scrolling. Chronological list of Star Wars that was chronological in neither sense of the term.
Wait for it.
Curious about that. Waiting for it.
Good job, Kyle. Now get back to the ship. I can't wait to show these shots to the Inquirer.
Pretty good. Kyle Katarn would be proud.
Was there a snake on the screen for like a second?
I mean, it was just Darth Vader in bed with Boba Fett.
No, but like right when you opened the door and it went black, and right before Darth Vader was up, I swear I saw like the fucking old game Snake or Snafu or whatever.
Oh no, that was the navigation, because it wasn't like actual real 2.5D movement. You had to move. You had to flip through the screens.
Right.
Let's try X-Wing.
Some kind of cross-promotional attempt by 20th Century Fox. It doesn't quite work.
There is a bomb on this X-Wing fighter. Do not go below 50 parsecs per hour, or it will blow up.
Ben, stay on or get off. Stay on or get off.
Averipaz says even Pyst had some fun moments. Like,
get off.
I will grant at least that they, after fun, they put like 4 question marks and put fun in quotes, because did it? There was like one part where I was like, that's almost a sight gag.
This is peak gaming right here. You know, fuck it. This is probably gonna go on forever, so.
Yeah.
You're not such a bad pilot yourself. Actually, you're a terrible pilot. On the other hand, that Sandra Bullock can pay my fare anytime.
What?
Speed! Remember Speed?
Oh! I think I would have had the same reaction back then.
If you divert from their path.
Wrecked All Assaults. This is a parody of Rebel Assault, which is already a bad Star Wars game, but
I hate those direction arrows anyway. I'm a rebel.
Yeah, you are a lone wolf.
So anyway, if
Terminator says, what makes me mad is Parody knows Star Wars Extended Universe lore enough to know who Kyle Katarn is, and they still can't do any half-decent jokes with it.
In the right direction. Whatever you do, don't crash into the walls of the,
So this game is supposed to make fun of the protagonists as sad nerds and man-children. What does it say about the game that expects us to understand these jokes, which would only make sense to a Star Wars nerd? Yeah. Yeah.
Wait. Well,
Rebel Assault. Remember Rebel Assault?
I do remember Rebel Assault.
This is basically that game, right?
I'm a little perplexed by Twitch at the moment.
Yeah, they did some weird auto mod stuff, but you fixed it.
Yeah, it was just okay. I'll talk about that later. It's just weird.
Was that Darth Vader wearing Mickey Mouse ears?
Now, if you want a real
That's prescient. Genuinely. There was a little statue of Darth Vader wearing Mickey Mouse ears that barfed out of this. 1997. Alright, let's go through some of these things.
What's Whack and Ewok? I don't know why, but Whack and Ewok has been catching my eye.
You know, violence is an ugly thing.
This is not what I thought it was going to be.
However, sometimes it's the only way to get the attention of the corporate fat cats who believe in saturating the market and insulting our intelligence. With cuddly
my instinct is to like not talk when they're talking, so people.
No, just don't worry about it.
But like, I want to talk just so they can't at this point. Oh,
this is a bad game.
Insufferable. No, you should have missed that one though. Well, that shows me for like wanting to see something.
I guess what, the timer stops every time you actually successfully whack one of the Ewoks. So 30 seconds goes on for like a whole minute if you're good at this. Reap what you sow, Charkie!
Do I want to know what Gene Splicer is? That one?
Yeah, we'll get to that. And then I'll unlock the secret games in this. Because there are secret games. There's 3 extra games more than what we see on the menu right now. There's also a quiz game in here. That was going to be the main attraction for me on this, but...
So, is it a quiz game on, like, actual Star Wars stuff, or...
You'll see.
I know we said to whack him, but my god, you have no mercy.
Yeah, you scored really well, but you scared us.
Oh, the ranch cam is hot.
Oh, the ranch cam's hot! Ranch cam's hot!
Alright, here's an idea.
Get ready for some hot action.
Palpatine orders Bail Organa to be executed. Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan confront them together.
That's good. Then you'll be able to show Anakin slowly get taken in by Palpatine's power.
Right. Hey, how about this? How about if Captain Kirk...
You're saying Palpatine?
Yeah.
...challenges him to a duel with the laser sword? 2 things, moron.
That's Brian Posehn.
This is Star Wars, and it's not laser sword, it's a lightsaber.
How is Brian Posehn here, and he's also the guy in the apartment?
What do you want from me? I'm here for the funny. I don't know this stuff like you idiots.
Hey, you know, well maybe
His
you
brother.
really should want
His other brother,
His other
I
brother.
guess.
Yeah.
Life beyond this room, right? I don't live and breathe this crap.
It's a man on the inside playing these cameras.
Alright, let me just ask you one more question. Which one of the robots is from England?
Oh.
What if these scenes, they were just, like, calling the shots entirely on the prequel series? Like, they were just straight up saying, like, yeah, Jar Jar Binks.
And Anakin
They'll
gets
be like,
into
okay.
a race. Let's do the quiz game.
The Force is strong with you.
Oh, I fucking said you don't know Jack earlier, and there's straight up a you don't know Jack.
Years ago, Aaron and I trained ourselves to use that percentage of our brains that lies dormant in most individuals.
I don't care about the setup. Just get to the game.
Real simple. When a question pops up, you gotta blast in your answer by hitting the corresponding key on your keyboard. Got it? Good. Okay, let's start the show.
Are you in the game show mood right now? Are you excited?
Dead. Like, inside.
People always ask me, like, what's the worst game you've ever played? This isn't the worst game I've ever played, but the worst kind of game to play is bad comedy. I will stand by that.
What's your opinion on Mad Hazard?
I have the cover for that. I was going to go through that in the history of video game, of parody games, but...
If you make the fatal mistake of beating...
Oh, we'll get to that then.
What work of art might you most resemble? 1. Edvard munches the screen.
So this is like almost a joke in that it's like a very like reference to like, you know, like art. You have to understand like art. I'm gonna say the screen.
It's 3.
You tried your luck, but luck only counts in holo games and photon torpedoes.
I thought it would be a screen because he was like gonna scare you.
No, he rips your armor off.
Oh right, okay.
Watch your back. It's question 2, sir.
Don't talk between questions, says Moxie. There's an important song you can't miss. And yes, this is Tom Kenny, by the way. Well spotted, Codeman.
Here's a little analogy for you. Stormtroopers are to Huns, as Darth Vader is to 1.
Attila the Hun?
2. Napoleon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a tyrant, just...
You know Jack was a good series.
I'd like to have sex with Princess Leia, but instead it's question 3.
Good thing we're not talking over these.
Was that the song?
Oh, come in. Also point out, this was developed by Way Forward. Forgot to mention that one. I kind of buried that lead, didn't I?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah!
Wait, you're fucking with me.
Fits the bill. 1. Something about Leia. 2. A father's betrayal to the dark side and back. 3. Not without my Jedi. Or 4. Portrait of a teenage nerf herder.
I guess I'll go with 2.
2? I mean, it's kind of on the nose.
To the dark
I mean, that's every joke in this game.
I mean, not just in terms of a trivia question. It's on the nose, not as a joke.
Who's that knocking on that escape pod door?
This is definitely not the song. I'm gonna call it right now.
No, Moxie said it was the I like to have sex with Princess Leia one, so...
Okay.
3,000 credits riding on this sucker. Let's say you went shopping for a land speeder at Jabba's used land speeder lot. If you wanted to get the same kind of speeder as Luke, which one would
It's DL44 or XP38.
AK-47.
Obviously.
DL44 sounds familiar, but that might be a gun.
AK-47
Yeah,
is
it's
XP38.
You might be good with numbers, but you suck at
Defenestration dude asking for clarification. Way forward, the devs of Shantae, Mighty Switchforce, Cat Girl Without Salad, and River City Girls? Yeah! Hey, work is work.
Here we go.
DL44 was Hans's gun. Was the modified fucking Mauser pistol.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's just the only one that sounded familiar out of the two.
Oh, I know this one. Jefferson Starship, B. Arthur, and Boba Fett all appeared in the Star Wars Holiday Special. Boba Fett debuted in the Star Wars Holiday Special.
I was about to ask, isn't that his first appearance?
Yeah. In a little animated sequence.
I don't see a single thing about Way Forward in this article.
They are absolutely the developers of this game.
It just says Parody Interactive.
In A New Hope, Luke's Uncle Owen almost bought another droid before settling on R2.
Bad motivator.
The first R2. Good call! You're clearly motivated to win, aren't you?
As it was in the Battle of Yavin.
Oh my god.
After 6 comes question 7.
I almost cracked a smile at that chanting, that monk chant gimmick.
In the last 20 years, lesser-known song stylists and Star Wars enthusiasts have given Weird Al Yankovic a run for his money. And Aaron's hilarious song parody, My Darling Palpatine.
This is a reference to the game, I think.
1. Yoda Palpatine. 2. Emperor Palpatine. 3.
I
Nope.
Who?
Oh my darling. Oh my darling. Oh my emperor.
Well, it's asking you who Palpatine is, I guess.
Chomsky was asking, this is a good question. Has anyone ever gotten real mad at a Bad Game Hall of Fame article and insisted the game was actually good? Clayfighter 63 and a third. There's some real doofuses in the comments on that one who are mad that I'm politically correct. So that is the go-to for me.
You get 500 credits for each right answer,
Okay.
and you'll lose 500
Lightning round.
wrong answer, or each
You go.
Wait. Oh no, I got to answer trivia. I have a condition where I have to answer trivia questions.
or Nookie. Decide which of these are sexually.
Oh, never mind. You got this.
Minoc. Rat. Digworm. Gamorrean. Goner. Chlamydia. Salastat. Candida.
Oh.
You've got enough credits for a pleasure.
What did you think it was?
It's Star Wars.
Well, it looks like you've got a lot of studying ahead of you.
I don't know if you're familiar
So,
with
I looked up WayForward's website, and they list on their games developed, they list this game and some other things we'll see. Like, I would have thought they would have buried that.
No, work is work, buddy. It's...
scored on how much time you spend, and you haven't even been here as long as someone.
Let's look at the Gene Splicer.
Hey man,
Hey, what is this?
Like Aaron,
Oh, this is like a children's entertainment like thing.
Moxie bring up they officially retconned Jizz today, by the way. It's Jats now. Fucked up.
Heard about that.
Honestly. This game should have had Jizz jokes in it. I don't think it did.
It's like a narcotic,
Was that name canon back then?
Yes, Jizz was canon.
I mean, back when this game was made, is that not something, or is that something?
Good question.
They made up later.
So this Gene Splicer thing is you just look at characters throughout, like outside of the canon, the timeline of the movie.
Oh. Oh wait, let's see if this is.
Sorry, my dear brother, but
Nope, they didn't call it. They didn't call the prequels.
Leave me alone. They're not even real.
Bite your tongue. Don't you ever say that again.
Okay, I'm
I
sorry.
wonder if they would be like, yeah, Anakin made C-3PO.
Teen years. Oh wait, I need to wait for it to play out.
Droids weren't always employed. They had 2 years where they didn't work at all. They'd been traveling the galaxy, sleeping wherever they could. They were caught by the authorities.
Video Game King said,
to live in a foster
"Oh, that's adorable."
It's quite the rebellious team.
Good for them.
Always
Video Game King
forever getting seeds.
says it was. Looked up earlier today. Jizz shows up in the Star Wars Encyclopedia, which was 1998.
During The Empire Strikes Back,
What year was this game again?
97.
Oh, never mind. So, yeah, it wouldn't have been called Jizz yet.
Years later, these love letters, for lack of a better term, became the inspiration for a highly successful off-Broadway show, Droid Letters.
Dear R2, received your last missive. I must say that while I'm sure Dagobah is beastly hot,
Why am I letting them talk?
Yeah, no, it's...
Without you.
Okay, we should skip all the talking parts. There is...
Ryan, baby, be a doll and run to the store and get me some Tom Collins mix. In case
Alright, so this is the vault. This is how we get access to the 3 secret games. But we have to guess the passcode first.
0451.
You know, if you're looking for the best hidden secrets...
The piece de resistance, the cream de la cream, the...
Nope, not an immersive sim.
You can't figure it out. Aaron, give them a hint.
Okay, it was the most important day of our lives.
What, you still don't know? Alright, alright. It was the day Star Wars was first released.
Yeah, that's it.
Do we have to tell you everything?
Fine. I guess it's not fair to expect you to know every little thing about Star Wars off the top of your head, even though it is second nature for us. Okay, Star Wars was released on May 25th, 1977.
You just go, good one.
You really aren't very bright, are you? Pay attention. 052577.
I wanted to give it to me in numerics. I didn't want to have to count on my fingers to do the months and the dates. I still have to do that every time I try to figure out what month the number that corresponds to a month is. I still have to count it out on my fingers because I am a child. Look, there's a Darth Vader head with the Mickey Mouse ears on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good choice. Like Aaron and I, you probably spent most of your childhood playing with Star Wars action figures.
Nope, I did not.
God, they didn't have to give Jabba nipples.
Anatomically
You could have not.
Anatomically correct Jabba. This one's...
Now you have to go to hell.
Speaking of hell...
Select a fighter for you and a computer...
Oh, no. Okay, load up Parsec.
Use the left and right arrow keys to move left and...
Let's see if I can guess the keys.
Alright, let me check Dust Loop to see if I can get it.
Yeah, please. Doesn't look like there's any special moves in this. And it is ASCX. And arrow keys.
There's no way this has, like, multiplayer, right?
No. It is just
Alright.
CPU.
So we can't have, like, a bathroom Evo tournament on this.
Was this before or after Masters of Terras Kasai? This would have been... Terras Kasai would have been later in 1997. Or wait, no. This came out December 1997. Master of Terras Kasai was October 1997, if memory serves. There's an article up on the site for Masters of Terras Kasai.
Mamma mia, you...
Hey, good job. Despite what they said.
Hey, guess who's on the ranch cam?
Oh, Ranch Cam! My favorite! It's this guy again! Everyone's favorite guy!
You, original Leia, pure and regal, in your virginal white robes. And you, Camo Leia, cloaked in mystery, you have a naughty side. Oh, what I wouldn't give...
Someone please redeem a drink up. Someone please redeem a fucking drink up.
What's that? No, haven't forgotten you, Bespin Leia. You are the mature Leia. Leia as woman, not girl. Will you marry me, Bespin Leia?
What?
You will?
Uh-oh.
This is the happiest day of my life. Oh, yes.
I'm gonna redeem this. I don't know what it is. Nope, that's not right.
Darling,
This?
That's disgusting.
Why? It's nothing I haven't done.
I think it's natural.
Thank you, everyone.
Me too.
That's two.
Oh, you noticed our shrine. You know, Brian and I aren't just intellectual.
Not at all.
Three.
In fact, we're both quite spiritual. We follow the beliefs and teachings of the great Yoda, the Jedi Master. Like other great sorcerers and wizards.
Can we just type any question here?
Why? Nope.
This would have been an appropriate question to ask. Or...
Ask no questions, then understand you will. Deep am I?
What?
Very good.
Sleep on that for 600 years, I will. And next time, a yes or no question, ask you must.
It's gotta be yes or no.
But how would it not? How it wouldn't? What?
Silly, don't you feel, asking a puppet?
But Tish. Alright, one last game.
I need another drink.
I think this is the right thing to interact
You may
with.
not know that several other screenwriters before they became well known wrote earlier unproduced drafts of the Star Wars trilogy.
We managed to dig some of the discarded scripts and storyboards out of the Skywalker Ranch dumpster.
Oh.
It's a fair price to pay, I think.
It took just 4 short round-the-clock work for us to piece together each shredded page of these long-lost drafts.
With the help of some of our friends, we've dramatized these scenes for you. Of course, bear in mind, all celebrity voices are impersonated. Yeah, right, like we could afford the real actors.
And let me tell you, I now understand.
So, Woody Allen. What scene do you want to see Woody Allen write?
I want to go find alcohol.
Luke and Leia? Oh, I have to hit the play button. Oh, everyone's hitting drink up again.
Short to be a stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper? Me? No, I'd never be part of an imperial organization that would have me as its member. I'm just an orphan moisture farm.
Sorry if you can hear the television. It's on down here, next to where we keep the liquor.
Oh, anything better? Yeah, is there something better on than this?
Are you gonna rescue me, or should we just
It's a commercial.
Oh, so better than this.
so stupid. What is wrong with me? La-di-da, la-di-da, la-la.
Wait, where did the alcohol go? Like, for real?
Beautiful. I wonder what she looks like with that.
To answer your question, John Skew, the CGI Sailor Moon animation is from the 3D Adventures of Sailor Moon, which is also a PC, Windows 95, Windows 98 multimedia software suite thing.
Then where would the relationship go? We'd have to move to a village in South Carolina. Yeah, but does it really matter?
Bella Artois. No, thank you.
Okay, so we should probably go or something, right?
Oh my god, this goes on forever!
God, I sound like a moron.
This is not a bit. I'm actually looking for alcohol.
Ironically, I didn't...
Alright, let's see Quentin Tarantino. How would Quentin Tarantino write a scene between Luke and Vader?
Listen, you little I don't want to hurt you, but you're leaving me no an alternative.
My head! Jesus Christ, that hurts! You
hand off! I hate you!
So remember, this is September.
No sword.
Yeah.
Man. Where, you little bitch? The
Can I take mine back?
No, we did add fancy new badges for subscriber milestones.
Oh, we did. Yes, you're right.
So if you subscribe for 1 month, or if immediately subscribe, you get a bronze trophy, and there's a silver, a gold, and a platinum trophy.
Good luck getting out of this, Storm Skywalker. Surrender. Listen, Luke. I'm only gonna say it once, so listen closely.
Listen closely.
Do not make me rip you a new because I will not hesitate to your up. You haven't even started to realize.
This is still going. All right, what? Stop.
You know,
Seinfeld.
Did you know I've been dry for like 4 years?
I want to see Jerry write a scene between Leia and Han.
Grand Moff Tarkin. What is with that name? And what's a Moff anyway? And if there are Grand Moffs, are there any plain Moffs?
Enough with the Moffs.
What?
Can we talk about something else besides Moffs?
Oh,
You
here
don't
it
like
is.
Moffs? We won't talk about Moffs.
I'm worried about Luke, okay?
Luke, you'd think you love the guy.
Well, you know, I do. I guess.
Uh-huh.
But he's...
He's what?
He's... You know.
I do?
Actually, this isn't bad.
The impressions, the writing.
No,
or...
the Stella Artois. I didn't remember liking it, but it's pretty good.
I've got some bullet bourbon, and I don't love it.
Oh.
I'm also not really drunk as much as it's been redeemed.
Form of an ice save.
Oh, I'm gonna get super drunk off of this fucking 5% alcohol beer.
Yeah, I need moonshine to actually get drunk. So.
And why do they call him Jabba the Hutt? I mean, what's the for?
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Ranch Cam can wait. We gotta see Spike Lee, because this is gonna age great. I'm sure whatever scene we click here, it's just gonna be great.
We'll just show it to someone who cares.
We'll see Leia and Vader by way of Spike Lee, and I'm sure this will age like a fine wine. And, brace yourselves.
Hexy Maniac says, I'm terrified, the Spike Lee one. Yeah, me too.
Where you from?
Alderaan. It's a nice planet. How about you?
Me? Uptown. The dark side.
Really? I never met anyone from the dark side before. Especially not on Alderaan.
You should come over with me sometime. I think you might like it.
Oh yeah? Well,
Weird pronunciation on that. Or enunciation.
What are you looking at?
huh, nothing?
You're looking at my black suit, aren't you? Don't tell me. I know what you're thinking. You're going, wow. Look at him, all decked out in black. Look at how dark he is. I mean me?
Is there a joke?
Remember when Spike Lee wrote that basketball, that NBA 2K? I don't remember which one. But he wrote it as like a stage play drama.
Oh, vaguely.
It doesn't to me. I think it's beautiful. I have to admit I've always been curious about it.
Me too, baby. Me too.
Get it?
People won't understand.
Neither will the droids, but I don't care.
That's your father. This is still bad.
Oh my god, I wasn't even thinking of that. Jesus wept. Thanks, Spike. Thanks, Parody. Slowly back out of that room. And quits.
Thank you.
Well, like Luke on his first trip to Dagobah, you've got a lot going for you.
Yeah, you're not.
Are you doing this chrono? Are you doing this chronological? Oh my god. All...
Here we go.
This is the worst software. Possibly.
First president, George Washington. Ha! It's almost a joke. Aren't you proud of them?
Is it? Because the president just says William Jefferson Clinton, which is also just the president.
And here's the real credits, in case you want to know who made this game. And, you know, send them a message.
How many more? Here, are you doing these in chronological order?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Please tell me some other parody game came out between this and the next one. Something?
So next up is the X-Fools. The spoof
God.
is out there. By Parody Interactive.
Were they the only game in town during this period?
There was another. There was one more. There was Hypnotics Interactive, who was responsible for a series we'll cover briefly in a bit.
Okay.
But, Abduct This, Trust No One, Run Agent Run.
Okay, I want to say this one I actually did see in like a GameStop or Babbage's or Electronic Boutique or whatever it was at that mall.
I gotta put the disc in real quick. Let me just take care of that. Alright, the X-Fools. I remember the intro to this one is like 20 minutes long. So we'll see the X-Files parody intro, but then like the introduction to the game and its mechanics goes on forever.
Skippable?
Yes.
Okay. What is wrong with the sound?
It's coming through on the stream.
Yeah, I assume this is just the sound as it is. I'm just saying what's wrong with it. That's not even a pun.
Government denies knowing stuff.
Okay, alright, I'm sorry. That was the first kind of funny thing I saw all night.
All night long.
You got one parody.
Let's go into the trailer. I'll have to log in.
Thank God we got this to you. Your future, our future, is dependent on the information contained in this CD-ROM.
It's almost an impression.
Former Agent Molly. This is my partner, former Special Agent Scudder. By now you've no doubt been exposed...
Having just watched some X-Files?
Yeah. We watch them in the server. Thanks, Magic Meows in the chat for streaming out some X-Files to us in the Discord server.
We don't want to scare them off right away. This is exactly why
This is the thing that goes on for 5 minutes, so fuck that. Let's just get into some games. I'll play as Scully.
Classified training game that Gangley, the lonely gunman, managed to spirit out of the Bureau. Many lives were lost.
Okay, what year did this game come out?
98.
To bring the truth.
How many seasons in was the X-Files? Magic Meows, you might know the answer to that question.
So what map do you want to play on? This is a game right here.
Oh.
Forest Mites, Fluke Man, Lord Kinbote, or Little Grays. Gotta do Little Grays.
Sure, yeah.
Were you expecting Pac-Man?
I was actually expecting Pipe Dreams.
There are at least 2 other minigames, so...
An agency has jurisdiction over death.
What if Pac-Man had a gun is not a terrible concept, I guess.
Yeah, this isn't unplayable.
Why is it still so hard to believe your life is in danger?
I don't know what they're talking about. Now, I'm waiting for a championship edition of this game.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Battle Royale version that we can play in arcades. So 4-player competitive.
Get this detail, Scully.
First, Nintendo's going to make the 99 version, but just cancel it in a couple months.
Yeah, it's a shame, but... X-Fools deserves better. I mean, it doesn't, but, you know.
Averpaz says, well, that's an improvement from the previous game. Yeah.
Yeah, this is an actual, like, game
there's-
within the game.
There's a game. Kefki says, cute graphics, in my opinion.
Those things are real.
Yeah. We've been looking at, like, just utter trash tonight, but this is... So comparatively, this is fucking great. But yeah, it's, I like that Scully. Dare I say, are they getting better at this? Parody Interactive?
As time goes on,
yeah.
The answer is no, because the last one is the roughest one in my mind, from my memory.
You're going to live.
Let's say I'm not going to. Never mind. I feel like the last one is the one possibly people know the most.
Yeah, I would say so. It's
either that and
Pyst. It's between that and Pyst. Yes, these ones are just completely forgotten.
Yeah. Did
I pressed
also
escape to get out of that minigame, but it quit out of the entire fucking thing.
Magic Meows asked, did WayForward also make this one? Yes. The only Parody Interactive game they didn't have hands on apparently was Pyst. Like, after Pyst came out, I guess WayForward was like, oh, we gotta get on this series.
Oh, depending on when you start the game up, it has different intro quote and different trailer park location. So there's a random element to this.
Thank God we got
the... Thank God we got the thing.
Can I do anything with this? No.
Bored. Nope, it's okay.
Where are the other games?
A good...
I keep accidentally skipping over the dialogue. It's a real shame.
A good...
The truth isn't here. Just ask Don Quixote.
Since the end of World War II, the alien government conspiracy...
Oh look, there's Pyst, Star Warped, and the X-Fools.
For the first time ever, we are offering undeniable...
Very presumptive of them to have, like, 4 more tapes down there.
themselves.
Hey, they got one more in.
Form of graphic software for image manipulation.
Alright, let's see what happens if we load Pyst.
Scudder. Really pissed.
Good for you, Molly.
The truth is in Modesto.
What does he mean by that?
Nice pointing and clicking, Agent Trainee. What did you expect to launch?
Ooh, I love it when you talk interactive, Molly.
We can't actually do anything on the screen. None of those discs work.
The following exercise is intended to measure your ITQ. Independent.
Oh, Magic Meows answered my question from earlier. That they would have been at about Season 5 by the time this came out. And this is the same year that the X-Files movie came out.
AKA the Lonely Gunman. No one knows this stuff better than this guy.
Hi there, and welcome to Trust No One, the ultimate
I have to go for like a couple minutes.
Go for it.
So I'll be right back.
So just forget you ever met me, and let's get started.
Is this going to be a quiz game? Who's to say? Well, coast on my X-Files knowledge from having watched like a little bit of the show on TV 20 years ago. Oh, what do you know? It's a quiz game.
In the episode entitled Die Hand die Verletzt, it actually rained toads. What was the explanation for this? 1. Satanic worship. 2. A water spout. 3. Toad clouds.
Satanic worship?
That's right. You're gonna need more than an umbrella when the Dark Ones unleash their fury.
I'm relying on you, Magic Meows, in the chat. Trusted moderator, trusted friend.
UFO enthusiast Max Fennig during what military operation? 1.
Operation, a Milton Bradley game, clearly.
2. Operation and Falcon. 3. Operation Petticoat.
I think it's Petticoat. I thought wrong.
I don't think so. It was Operation Falcon.
How did you know that? How did you remember that shit?
You gotta be sharper than that if you want to make it through the maelstrom.
Does the game just end? No, the game continues, thank God.
The cigarette-smoking man is a top-level CIA operative who's behind countless conspiracies and covert operations.
Manhattan Project or moving Rodney King trial to Simi Valley?
One of them. 1. The new Coke fiasco. 2.
I'm gonna say Manhattan Project.
Sorry.
Son of a bitch.
The book answer is 4, but we all know the government doesn't play by the book.
So we can continue down this path. Or I could just quit that and see what the last minigame in this is. Also, real-time clock. Cute. Abduct this.
Know thine enemy like you know thyself.
Did you learn that in the academy?
No. Camp Winnie Hockey, Counselor Dave. When we left the FBI,
Folks,
we responded with this...
I'm sorry you tuned into this stream.
Along
But
with
also,
Post-it notes,
you should have known.
Really sweet bulletin board.
Now it's...
Now this is the style of Parody Interactive game I'm more familiar with. Just the bare minimum. Oh, I need to wait for my beam to recharge. Magic Meow saying flash game quality. We're getting to that. We'll cover the role of flash games in the history of parody games shortly. Oh my god, this goes on for another 40 seconds. Oh, you can actually get shot by the, Gotta put a stop to that by, There is a challenge to this game. There is actual difficulty presented by these agents. I'll just capture this guy, then. You know, trying to reach some sort of poignant point about the things we've played so far. You know, Pyst, I think, is the worst because it didn't actually capitalize on any of the stuff that Myst did, as in that there were no puzzles in it, where Myst was a game entirely about puzzles. But, you know, there's no template on what a X-Files parody or a Star Wars parody should look like.
Done already? We were just starting to trust you. I see you majored in...
Is there anything else to do here?
Your investigative skills are coming along.
Maybe you unlock stuff as this game goes on. Maybe you unlock more diskettes. Maybe you unlock VHS tapes for this machine here.
Let's face it, the CD-ROM market is an iffy business at best.
So, we took a lesson from the Heaven's Gate cult and have spread our message to the World Wide Web.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing, is that all these games had web pages associated with them that you could visit through the game, that it would launch a link in your browser.
It's orbiting at the we are so that it remains undetected.
So it would open it up. I don't have PCEM, I don't have the networking enabled for this PCEM instance, so I can't go to those websites through this. And I don't know the URLs offhand either, for what it's worth. Bob here asks, question, would you ever do a second stream of this? Because I just had some great ideas. No! Nuh-uh. Nope. The answer to that one is a solid no. I've realized my mistake.
Somebody or something turned off the lights.
Quick, Molly, I need your flashlight.
Scudder, that's not my flashlight.
I know.
Very good. How do we exit this? How do we get out of this and never look back? There was a door here. There we go.
Hurry up.
The X-Fools! I know Charkie's not back yet, but let's keep looking. Let's keep doing some history. The last of the Parroty Interactive games, mercifully, is going to be Microshaft Winblows 98. We were talking, me and Charkie earlier, we mentioned earlier that this might be the most well-known of these. that the parody operating systems were kind of a thing that people were interested in on the internet for a while, like those NES ones, those bootleg cartridges, those pirate cartridges. So this is one of those, except, on a CD, so it's got rich media in it. And, I think the thing that we should mention here is that, like, these sorts of multimedia suites were, like, a big thing. This is, like, what computer gaming was for a minute in the mid to late 90s. It was just how much FMV can we cram into a diskette, into 700 megabytes. And the answer was a fair bit, if you reduce it to, like, 15 frames per second with, like, 16 colors. Oh, I legit thought it crashed for a second. But it's just doing a thing. Defenestration, question, does Ape Escape 3 count as a parody game with its excess of movie references, or do parody games need to parody a specific genre or work? Yeah, that's what I'm defining a parody game as. A game can have jokes in it and not be a parody game.
Well, why didn't we just use fake names?
Oh, that would have been a better idea. You are always right.
Okay, never mind. Hi, and welcome to Microshaft, my personal tribute to the mega software company that is both ruining my life and fair business in the global marketplace today.
So this was around the time that Bill Gates was embroiled in some bitter lawsuits, that Microsoft as a whole was under legal scrutiny, and also around the launch of Windows 98, so...
We are gonna rip them down.
And Bill is my role model. What happened to poking some gentle, harmless fun at the guy?
Graham here helped me with this project, but sometimes his judgment can be as cloudy as a Seattle morning, if you know what I mean.
I can't help it. I love the guy. I've been hacking code since I was a kid. I may just be a Microsoft janitor right now, but when...
Let's skip this. Let's get through these parody games, why don't we? This stream's gonna go long. So might as well not waste it on this shit. Where do you want it today? Ha!
Hi, Meg here. Hope you're enjoying yourself so
This is more a Windows ME parody than it is a Windows 98 parody, if we're getting really pedantic here.
To Bill's assistant, Mrs. Meany. I've been working here for about 4 years, and it's very challenging work. If you call hunting down...
Alright, real quick, could you go back and play all the stuff I missed?
No!
I think I've become a little bit too invaluable around the office. I mean, Mrs.
This is Microshaft Winblows, by the way, so...
I am sick
I noticed.
and tired of hitting my head against a silicon...
So much of this is contingent on just listening to the fucking dialogue. Is just listening to these. Video Game King asking question, when was Goatsy? This is Windows... This is 99. So... I think this is definitely a Goatsy parody here. The Win Bill Gates' money icon. Right? I mean, it can't not be. It'd be so prescient if it wasn't intended.
I don't want to Google when was Goatsy.
Maybe this is 1999.
Time to play the ultimate and only computer trivia game around, Win Bill Gates Money. I'm your host, Steve Jobs, and I know you're going to do.
This one's all stuttery again, which is, we're getting off of this. This is the last one, mercifully, but
thank you.
Not the last game of the night. I still have a couple more, but they're short ones compared to these parody ones.
Right answer, you get $1 million.
We keep landing on the quiz games. I'm gonna skip that rousing.
Euro Jack.
Okay, what comedian was brought to
Leno.
campus to help introduce Windows? That's right. Leno wasn't Gates' first choice. Apparently, Carrot Top was busy.
That's not a joke.
The production,
I can't.
The production on this is lower than Star Warp. The Star Warp one had songs, bespoke songs for each question.
1. Nerdalus Nerdly. 2. The notorious BG. 3.
Bilbo? No.
No. If first you don't succeed, try again.
Why would it be What?
Why is it so stuttery is my question. Trojan Horse. 2. Let's just skip all the preamble on these.
Bill Gates' home is a futuristic, state-of-the-art...
Which architect was
Did you ever play You Don't Know Jack with other folk?
The classics before like the party game era? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I had those CDs.
Did you ever do the house rule where like you had to wait for the question to be read out loud first, or was it just first come, first serve?
First come, first serve, always.
I always did, yeah, at least had to listen to the question get read out first, just to give
No! Xerox's
their time.
The easiest way to predict the future is to invent it. But if you ask me, it's always easier to just steal it from someone.
Okay, that's enough of that. I don't want to bog people down with a quiz game. Let's do some pinball. You know, we are going to do a full-on quiz game, a entirely dedicated, centered around the concept of quiz game in just a little bit here.
Yep, I know.
And there's a big difference between these Parody Interactive games and that game, and that is that these hosts in these little mini-games actually read the answers out loud. They actually read all the individual things out loud. You do not get that much in the dedicated quiz game, which is curious.
Alright. How are the physics in this one?
Well,
Where did the ball go?
Oh, the ball never left. I didn't hold down long enough. Not great.
No? Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Right down the center, which is how every pinball goes for me, usually. Cool.
Wait, what? Did I miss-see that, or...?
No, we went down the gutter lane.
Okay. I thought it just phased through the thing.
I keep lodging them in Bill's nose.
See, now I would have made that the multi-ball. Like, you put it in there and it locks.
Then he blows his nose and a bunch of balls. Okay, now the ball
see, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Well, I never... Winblows Explorer. Or Exploder. This is a parody of, like, Explorer, but the desktop is Explorer, so I
was hoping it would... What happened? Why'd you lose?
Because Windows had a bunch of error messages in it. This game was advertised in Macworld a lot, I know that much.
Yeah, I was about to say, did this game ever come out on Mac?
Yes.
Alright. This music
is a jam, is a bop, is a sound of the summer.
I was gonna say atrocious, but yeah, you're right.
I wonder if there's any other power-ups besides double shot. Hey, I finally found a shmup I'm good at.
Yeah, there you go. I don't think this counts as a shmup, but sure, whatever makes you feel good.
I'm sorry, I meant to say cute 'em up.
Right. Listen, that one that just came through, that's for me. That drink up's for me.
Well, I gotta do it too. The roll ahead. Oh my god.
Oh no. Nope, desktop.
2. You're Steve.
Alright, I'll tell you what to do on my turns.
Yeah, I'll build a corporation.
What is yes, no, or no sign? Alright, go ahead and hit roll.
Build a corporation?
Well, yeah, go ahead and build a corporation.
How much you want to put into it?
Just 2 billion.
Okay.
figured I'd probably want to get ahead of you.
Guess I'll keep building corporations.
Alright, let's see. I think you should roll up. Well, let me say it first. Let me tell you what I want. Don't assume. Ooh. Is that... What does that imply? Oh, I get...
You just get 4 billion.
I get that. Good. Good. However, now I'm behind you, so that's not as great.
Well, I wonder what this button does. I guess I just skipped turn. I don't know why there's double up on that.
Alright, roll. Alright, good. There. Yes. Give me one for 4 billion.
Alright.
I'm gonna spend everything I just made on that one.
Putting that money back in the economy.
No choice? Okay.
Not on these tiles.
Okay, so... I'll build one for 2 billion. God, I hope this pays off in some way.
No. No, it will not.
No, I just mean building corporations, that there's a weird...
Move back one weirdness.
Okay.
I thought something would happen if I landed on this tile, but...
Alright, let's go with roll.
Good choice.
Move back 2. Oh, do I get to build a corporation?
Something tells me no. Oh, yes!
Yeah. Alright, just 1 billion.
Oh my god.
Alright.
No progress. It's just something happened.
Alright, select, oh, damn it. We do the thing.
I want this to end.
Alright, fight! Oh.
No. This ain't Mario Party. DMX Goomba ain't coming out of here anytime soon.
Going for broke?
Triple or nothing.
Literal sense? Alright, desktop.
No, I gotta end it now. Now that I spent all that money, I want to see what the win or end or lose screen, whichever screen. I want to see what a screen looks like.
Okay, give me a corporation worth 3 billion. I'm gonna try the tortoise and the hare strategy here.
Please let me land on your space.
I assume you cannot build a corporation on no man's land. Okay. Ah.
This is
folks
fucking riveting.
Remember that it's September.
I love how subscribe has become the shorthand for this stream is like tanking. We're doing something incredibly boring.
I would like to build a corporation.
For how much?
I would like to build it for 2 billion. Paula said, would a breakout clone be 2 on the nose?
I feel like that's the thing we haven't seen in one of these yet. Gotta be coming up soon.
1 billion. 1 billion.
I'm assuming that when we get to the arrow behind Bill Gates' face here, it'll like wrap us around over here, and then we can start landing on these spaces.
Yeah. What do I get? Move 1 space ahead of your opponent.
Golly, look who's passing who.
Oh, I don't get to build, though.
Lose money. Lose my last billion. Oh,
no.
Damn it.
Ease on down the road. Ahead.
Hey, Charky, I'm about to give up on this.
Yeah, desktop? Try desktop. See what that does. Oh, good. We both win.
We all lose. I wonder what these could be. Oh, we haven't unlocked them yet. It's the camera feature from the Star Warp game. Oh no, my Billigacci is dead.
Oh, is that sound just forever now?
Can I...
Okay.
There we go.
You got a new one. Wonder why he died.
Neglect. What?
What? Tabanib. Tabanibba. Headnip.
No idea. There's Netscape burning. Internet Explorer. Cannot find browser configuration file. Please run browser setup. That's a real error message.
Oh, could you, like, actually get on the internet if you had the browser?
It would open up just a browser instance. I'm sure that would point to this web page.
Ah.
Or, like point to, like, a web page, like, dedicated to this site. Reject bin. Can I interact with any of these? No. Someone could read that if they were so inclined. I don't feel like it.
Jesus. A lot of things you just have not unlocked. They really wanted you to play as much of this game as possible, get over the Steam refund limit.
I really want to see Xena Code Warrior. There's an image there that I have for the epilogue slate for this stream. But nothing is working. In fact, I may have broken the whole game, because I can't even... Oh, there we go.
Oh, god damn it. Still working.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's still working.
Is there just porn at the end of this?
God, I hope so. Oh, I thought it was gonna let me restart in like a fucking MS-DOS thing. Lose. Run. There she goes.
Yep. Almost a joke.
Tech support. Do I need to type in a password? I guess something would tell me the password. I guess we could unlock what the password is by probably playing some of these games.
Could you just put in like whatever you wanted and it would work?
No.
Nope. Ah, there's an ARG element to it.
Oh my god, another case of suds.
Sudden.
That was Microshaft Winblows. Charky, I need you to take a note down. Never play comedy games ever again on stream.
We're not done. We got more. I know we have more.
Okay. So they were not the only parody game in town, Parody Interactive. Though that was their last game, there were other people who were putting out software of some rapport, of some parodic intention. One of the ones that I also remember fondly for some reason is a little series by the name of Deer Avenger, which is a parody of the Deer Hunter series. And this would have been like 98, 97, 96 maybe, somewhere around that ballpark. So I had been out hunting, and that is why I picked up this game. Or asked, you know, by whoever the father figure in my life at that moment in my life was to pick up this game for me, and they thought it was funny enough. This would have been the Simon & Schuster Interactive would have published this. Would have been developed by One Hypnotics. And this game was wildly successful as a parody of Deer Hunter, and it led to 4 squeakquels, including Deer Avenger 2, Deer in the City, which is a rail shooter. And it may have been partially responsible for me, like, really digging rail shooters to some extent, which is a crazy thought to have. But, the big thing about these is that it was written and voiced by one Brian McCain, who was a writer for the Conan O'Brien, owner for Late Night. And I do have all 4 of these games sitting somewhere in that same attic next to those Dilbert books and everything else.
It's time to play all of them through right now.
No, that is a different stream. Instead,
yes, you wanted me to remind you never to play comedy games again.
These are different because they're actual video games. They actually have gameplay to them. Unfortunately, we're not playing Deer Avenger today. We're playing Deer's Revenge. This was by ValueSoft, which was Activision, I believe's value label for cheapo games that they would sell for like $10, $5, and so on and so forth.
Sounds right.
So this is Deer's Revenge. This came out in 1999, so this was late to the party. They had the same idea as Deer Avenger, which is have a deer fighting back against the hunters, but it's got that ValueSoft spin on it.
What was that parody deer hunting game that the name of it was a play on Natural Born Killers?
No idea.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
I vaguely know. Codeman points out the ValueSoft with THQ. Activision had its own value label. Activision Value, okay. Yes, okay. Huh. Curious graphic.
Huh.
Oh, this is because I'm viewing in... Escape, escape.
Looks good.
You better recognize.
Alt F4. I know what the problem with that is. We're out of the 256 color mode. We're into the 16-bit, 24-bit, so on and so forth.
We're in the future. I think. Is this the future?
No.
Nope, that ain't it.
I need to turn off Voodoo emulation. I need to go back to a different type of renderer for this, probably. Look, mercifully, this is the last of the PCEM games in general, so we're going to move on to other stuff shortly after this. Any minute now. Folks, old computers. They take a minute to start up.
They're
sometimes.
great.
I'm slightly nostalgic for this. I'm nostalgic enough for this. Not to say that Microshaft Winblows would have appealed to me, but...
It is great and not at all a nightmare trying to run old video games that were made for PC.
Let's try 800 by 600.
Even games that came out only maybe 7 years ago.
Hey!
There we go.
Snarf Black
Stream
Software.
saved.
This is the story of one deer, hunted and harassed. He's had enough. A deer can only take so much. Taking up arms, our hero is here to chew cud and kick butt. And he's all out of cud.
This is particularly low rent compared to Deer Avenger. I could have saved this for the Deer Avenger stream, probably, just as a point of comparison. But yeah, this is a parody of the Deer Hunter series, which was big before Cabela's, or not, Big Buck Hunter in the arcades was a thing, or the Cabela games for that matter. So we have a few places we can go hunting. We have a few guns. What do you prefer? The net gun, beer gun, stun gun?
I'm having beer right now, so let's do the beer gun.
And let's pick the scent of beer. Let's smell like a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Move around the map.
Just smell like a convention.
Cans of cheap beer. Might want to look here. Use the calls and rattles to try and attract a hick.
By the way, the game I was thinking of is called Natural Fawn Killers.
Ooh, that's a stretch.
They had a game, and then they had a sequel called Natural Fawn Killers Santa's Gone Postal. That was a Christmas version of it.
That was just to show you I'm serious about mounting your rear on my wall, boy.
You missed that shot. Back to the map.
Empty cans of cheap beer.
Let's go hunting again.
So is this what the real deer hunting games are like?
They're a bit more involved. But this is close enough to like the original Deer Avenger. We do have these calls here.
A 50% off coupon from Save Mark?
And he'll go through all sorts of hilarious one-liners.
Sure be a waste throwing away all this squirrel meat.
Get it?
Rattle. I wouldn't call that a rattle. You know what? I like the animation on the gun.
Now come on back, boy. I tell your wife that her back hair looks better parted in the middle.
We got one.
Tell the others.
Good job.
Dear.
Now, how long would it take to max out that counter?
Oh, well, there's a second one, so we can...
This ain't no petting zoo. Look at all those missing teeth.
2.
That counter goes up to 9,999, but there's only.
Well, I know we're doing for the next 3 days straight.
Yeah.
This is pretty low rent.
I like on the when you have the gun out, there is like a
Oh my finger. Come on.
hold the gun out real quick. You see on the right that line where they didn't like cut it properly?
Yeah, where they didn't do a sufficient crop job. Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if the hunter here is behind that tree. It's entirely possible. We just might never be able to get them on the screen.
Is that a monster truck?
Anyway, this game is interesting because it is a parody of a established genre. And not to say the Deer Avenger game, the original one, was much better than this. The future ones, they've eventually gotten to 3D with those. It's rare to see these parody games go like full 3D and require like actual computers to run. But, you know, that's Deer's Revenge. Leave Deer's Revenge. Close out of this. And mercifully, that is the end of the Windows 98 segment.
It's now safe to turn off your computer. Everyone, it is now safe.
Yeah, if I were watching this, I'd have turned on my computer like about 2 hours ago when we started the first Parody Interactive game. That would have been the time for it. Alright, so I did mention Hypnotics.
Yes.
And they were responsible for those Deer Avenger games that I just mentioned, so nice little segue there. But they were also responsible for Bass Avenger, which was the spin-off, which made fun of fishing games. And then their last game, I believe, was Who Wants to Beat Up a Millionaire? We've played this on the stream before. We've played the PC version of this on the stream before. I have not played the Sega Dreamcast version of this game on stream before. And I did not realize, because I owned Who Wants to Beat Up a Millionaire on CD-ROM on PC. I never owned the Dreamcast version. I never played the Dreamcast version. I did not realize it is very different presentationally. And if my launch box would cooperate, I would be able to load it right now and show it to you.
You gotta give the AAA experience to those Dreamcast owners.
Let's just open up RetroArch directly. Load content. I think I have my Sega Dreamcast games here. Yeah, we're just doing this the manual way.
Dreamcast gamers had very high standard for quality.
Clearly, that's why they backed the right horse in this fight.
Oh god, okay, sorry. I had the stream up too loud on my end.
Yeah, I come to think of it, this might be loud, that I might need to turn off the gain on it. No, this is still pretty low, so I'm going to turn the gain back on. Hypnotics games, published by Simon & Schuster Interactive. Simon & Schuster known for their book publishing endeavors, but they were briefly in the software game.
Personality, a career barely alive. Gentlemen, we can reinvent him.
Is this different?
Yeah, this
in the PC version.
This intro did not exist in the PC version.
To make the network's newest moronic man. Egregious Philip will be that man. Better than he was before. Better ratings than he had before. Better, stronger, more profitable. I'm okay.
Oh no.
Oh Christ.
looks like those guys in like the secret room in first level of Serious Sam.
I almost considered putting Serious Sam on this list, but I didn't want to play a Serious Sam game.
I don't think Serious Sam's a parody.
It's also not a parody, in fairness. Yeah, this is a all-new presentation style.
Alright, how many of you are playing today?
But man says Simon & Schuster had so many ideas in this era. They were also ones that were like, yes, let's make games based on M&Ms and Skittles. Were they behind Darkened Sky?
They might have been.
I can look that one up. To double check.
Ew. Hey, Melvin.com. Bill Gates parody. That feels appropriate for this.
Understandable choice. This guy does spell success. I guess I should say...
Yeah, all these 3D models are new. These were, like, drawn, like, with loving, like, 2D traditional art in the PC version.
And welcome to who?
You're saying these 3D models aren't loving?
Here are the rules.
They are... You know, I guess in some definition of the word.
You'll get a certain amount of time to
Yes, Simon & Schuster was Darkened Sky.
remain standing is the winner.
One of these days, unfortunately for me.
And break the seal. It's time for question number 1.
So there's an issue with the Dreamcast emulation on this.
Oi.
And to prolong the game, we furnished a list of potential answers.
Yeah, occasionally it'll get stuck on that in Flycast, but you can fix those issues by just pressing start, pausing, unpausing.
Be your final answer. Okay, let's see. You chose answer A. The right answer.
Notice how he doesn't voice over the potential answers to the questions in this.
Nope.
I mentioned that earlier. That this is somehow lower rent than the Parody Interactive quiz games, which are small parts of bigger games.
Oh, what's right? Oh.
So the conceit of this is that we're beating up the millionaires, and as we beat them up, they lose their money. Do we gain the money? Is it our money now? They don't really say. They don't really specify.
Well, yeah, it's just like how it works in real life.
Congratulations, Bobby.
Maybe it's the medical bills you're having to pay.
Oh, Jesus. That was very jarring.
Now let's see what you know. Hey, that rhymes. Here's the next question. What method did the wolf use to destroy the 3 pigs' property? Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay.
How would you say the
Take it away.
difficulty level is for these trivia questions in these games? Because you played this before.
These questions seem a lot easier than on the PC version. Strangely enough, these are all very basic. And I remember there's like some like weird, obtuse trivia in the PC version.
Oh, hey, that hurt. 200K left.
For some reason, that's way less money than you did on the first round.
Well, remember, he's losing money. They're saying how much money he has left as like almost like an HP thing.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like, how much money did you earn from beating him up?
Alrighty, it's time for another question.
So do you just win when it hits $0?
Yes.
Name, is it A, B, C, or D? Well, generic contestant, this is your moment. Make 'em ugly. Okay, let's see.
Let's see if I even need to use any of the lifelines in this.
Well, they've been throwing you softballs so far.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, hockey puck, you bruise, they lose. Ow, oh, that's right, ow, oh.
I'm just alternating between left and right.
Ow, ow, ow.
Up and down.
You know, the amount that he's losing on each thing, this seems like a Zenonian pace. Like, you'll never hit 0, it is just going to progressively get, like,
keep
smaller
having
and
it
smaller
until
amounts.
it's like, you know, like 50 cents, 25 cents,
Yeah.
a fraction of a cent.
And move on to the next question. In the 20s, Clara
I know this.
was the what girl? Is it A, B, C, or D? Well,
The original Lit Girl.
you got the ball.
Yep.
Let's see what you do.
I once named a computer
I
after
don't-
Clara Bow.
Okay,
I don't know how I knew the answer to that question.
do what you want.
I once had a computer named Clara after Clara Bow.
Now let's see if you're right.
I also had a computer named Olga after Olga Kurlenko.
D. Oh, you lucky son of a gun. Okay, player 2.
My computer is named 43S515.
After your favorite android, after your favorite robot, I imagine.
Because that's the name it came with.
Okay.
Hey, that hurt.
That might not even be the name of the computer. I think that actually has to do with the graphics card or something. Or the sound card.
Funny Video Game King mentioned this being a more highly produced version of the Office Flash games you'd play in 2001.
Time to prove you're more.
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less. The PC version especially would be.
Lift shit.
I got my...
So we've narrowed down to these 4 possibilities.
I have no idea who this is. This is probably a 2000s reference.
So, single player game, person. You got the ball. Let's see what you do with it.
I don't know.
You've chosen one or the other. Here's the deal. We'll take away 2 of the wrong answers and leave you with a 50-50 chance of getting it right.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds fair to us, so that's why we do it. Okay, shout ahead. Take it away.
Probably Ralph Lauren, right?
Yeah, that's my guess.
Pepperoni. Final answer. Alrighty then, you went with choice B. And the right answer is...
This is right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those kind of odds. I bet you could...
Anyway, I got my computer privileges fucking taken away from me when I worked at an office because I played those office games. Granted, I was like fucking, what, 12? And like, the work I did there was mostly just sit at the computer and wait for something to come through for me to do. Because I was a junior volunteer.
Special weapon. Ouch, return, ouch, return. That can only mean you've chosen a computer keyboard. Control your options when you delete your opponent with this finely crafted tool of technology and...
Man, they could have written for Microshaft Winblows when they said this.
How does it say, do you need the Dreamcast keyboard for this?
Mercifully, no.
Zenonian, like I told you. Oh, you got it.
We won.
World's #1 computer geek is battered and bloody. How long have we waited to see that, folks? So, Bella, you're a winner. A filthy rich winner. But you're still not as rich as I am. Remember that. Look, I don't know what I'm talking about. They just keep me in a box and don't take me out until it's time to play Who Wants to Beat Up a Millionaire?
Congrats on being the Quizmaster, Cass.
I thought you were going to congratulate me on being a millionaire now.
That too.
That is a very narrow-looking TV.
Yeah, strange aspect ratio. Was it 9 by 21?
Yeah, this seems fucked up. I think it's supposed to be wider. I think this is fucked up somehow.
The rest of the game looked normal, for lack of a better word.
I mean, that's Who Wants to Beat Up a Millionaire. Now remember, the whole conceit is that I'm giving a little bit of a history lesson here. So we mentioned the Flash games earlier, or it was mentioned in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was the big frontier, is that after these companies, after Hypnotics and Parody Interactive sort of fell through in 2000, people kind of stopped making parody games, at least commercially, so on like a big scale. And for a while, it was sort of the onus of the internet to pick up with that. And this is around the time that Flash was huge. Newgrounds.com was huge. You had like the Assassin games. You had like parodies, people making parodies of other games in Flash. And this eventually led to like websites that would host like Flash games, like your Armor games and whatnot, or Congregate. That's sort of the birth of that sort of stuff. One of the big ones from that time, one of the big parody games, would have been Achievement Hunter. That I think it would have been 2008. And
I like that one.
And it's a parody of the earning all the achievements in like your Xbox game. So make a Flash version of that, make it like a basic platformer. And there's too many Flash games to even like attempt to concisely list here, so I'm not going to bother with the Flash games. Even though it's a whole rabbit hole of its own, you can get a Flash Zone or a Flash Kit or whatever the name of that project is. Flashpoint, if you want to play old Flash games. But then there was also a movement, especially emanating from Japan again, where they would just make homebrew sort of games, executables, This is almost like the early origins, like the indie game movement, really. Like that and like the Flash scene sort of coming together. But if you want to talk about like parody games that were big at a moment in time, games that got around, games that went viral, you can't go wrong with Syobon Action, also known as Cot Mario, or Cat Mario, depending on your mispronunciation of it. So this is a big one. This one is why we have the massacre genre, as it has come to be known. And I'm going to launch this up.
Did this come before or after Kaizo Mario?
Good question. I am not super familiar with the massacre genre to the point where I can give you years for this sort of stuff. I know this is 2007. Originally. I'm playing some open source version of it, but it should have all the, you know, original content of the original game. Oh, I don't know why it's controlling without my input. Oh, it's because of the controller inputs. Let me turn off the controller real quick, and then hopefully this should fix itself. That life, me losing that life doesn't count.
Kaizo Mario World was 2007, so around the same era.
Yeah.
Also, I can't see chat right now because the tablet just blue screened.
That's not a pickup. Oh, that's silly. Well, surely... Oh, no, I can't get that.
So I know you said not much, but what's your how much experience do you have with these massacre games? Like, in general, like, have you played I Want to Be the Guy?
Yeah, and I didn't care for it. I don't think these games are usually particularly good. I think this is novel enough as the first one of these, and it being more of like a outright parody of it, in terms of like messing with your expectations, being a direct send-up of Mario. I don't know. I think the ones that tried to ape this lost the humor elements and more focused on this being brutally difficult. Because this isn't, like, really difficult, per se. It's just trial and error. It is just watch the gags happen.
Yeah,
and then...
it's all gotcha traps.
But ultimately, like, this is all very doable. I remember most of the moves here. I remember also most of the traps. There's a deliberate trap for you.
So you're doing them all deliberately.
Yeah. Like, I can tell you, like, one trap I don't want to deal with is, if you go down there, if you go any further than that step, you'll get trapped underneath and have to fall down the hole. That cloud will kill you, for example. I know that.
I assume you cannot jump on any of these?
No, you can.
Oh.
Let's see if I can get this in one. Nope.
I'm digging the Cheetah Man music.
Yeah, the Cheetah Man music is... We'll do Action 52 on stream one of these days. I'll play through all 52 games on Action 52, and it'll somehow be less torturous than the Parody Interactive games we've played today.
We would actually have to load a parsec for that one, though, right? I think there's some multiplayer-only
for the
things in there.
multiplayer-only ones. Alright, make sure to jump there. Gotta edge as far to the left as possible. Nope. There's a run button. It is not shift, I can tell you that much.
Okay.
I don't believe there's a run button. Let's test it out. I think you just accelerate. You just accelerate over time.
Is it a running jump, or is you just have to... Well, I mean, you played this, not me.
You need to
So I'm going to ask if you just need to be on the as far to the right as possible.
Yeah, you need to save your jump for the absolute last second, which is never something I'm good at, because the second I see myself, like, approaching the edge, I want to jump. Fuck. So this is the actual tough one. It is this part. Everything else has been trial and error. Oh, spacebar. It did speed up the game a little bit.
Run?
I never realized. You can do this without... I absolutely can do this without... Wait, no, that just speeds up the game, I think. We'll see with the speed of these enemy... Shit. Yeah, spacebar speeds up the entire game.
Oh.
Yeah, so that does not help.
Okay.
That just makes everything slightly faster. It does not... But... No, so I'm correct. Don't mess with me. Don't challenge me on this. I'm always correct. Not you, the chat. These people in chat think they know better than me.
Oh, you're lucky I can't get in there right now to ban everyone. There you go. There you go. There you go.
And now we can safely passage through.
Oh.
Rip. Dante, you're okay. I was joking when I said, like, you don't need to actually apologize. Gotta get in there. Remember when we played all of Super Mario Bros. Special on stream? Wasn't that, like,
I do.
Just like a joy compared to some of the shit we've played today?
Oh, that was fine. That was a fine thing to do.
There's a way to do this. It's... I have to jump a little sooner. I have to get to the edge here. There we go. Down.
Alright, too far down.
He is pushed right.
Spelunky. No, Spelunker.
Spelunker, yeah. Original Spelunker. What happens if you collect this? Because they didn't show the mushroom off earlier. If I remember correctly, that one is trapped, so it turns into spikes the second you land on it. Well. So that's the biggest trap in this. The meanest stuff is when you're jumping and there's a block like right above where they know you're gonna jump intrinsically.
Yeah.
Like that. Like that.
Yeah, that's... But there's an art to that. You see that a lot in Super Mario Maker levels.
I fell for it again!
Have you ever beaten this game?
Yes. I was gonna see if I could coast off that knowledge of it, but also I don't need to play through all of this.
Yeah, you don't. Just throwing that one out there.
That's Syobon Action.
Yeah, see ya.
Let's wrap this up. We have one more game to get to, but I do have a few more slides to go through here. Another game in the style of Syobon Action is Pole's Big Adventure. I don't remember the Japanese game name of this offhand. Let me bring it up. I believe it's Tinjochu Pole no Daiboken. And it is probably one of the funniest games of the sort. It's untranslated. It was a WiiWare game put out by Sega. It is genuinely funny. It's done in the style. It's done like the style like a Super Mario Bros. Like it's all 8-bit, obviously, but it has gags. Like it has like commentary over it in the style of a Japanese like panel television show. And it is genuinely funny, and it's probably like one of the funniest games. I really like this game, and I don't like platformers, but it's a send up of platformers in a way that I can appreciate. It's antagonistic towards the player. There's a genuine contempt for the player. Or not a genuine contempt, but, you know, it feels like it was made by people who are, like, being mean to the player. And in that sense, I think it's great.
Like Takeshi Castle, kind of? Not
Yeah.
Takeshi Castle. Takeshi Challenge, rather.
Yes. So, that game comes highly recommended. If you play it, you can absolutely emulate it. But I recommend just watching a YouTube video of it that has the English captions on for like what the Japanese text on the screen means. Otherwise, I would play that right now. If I could actually translate in real time, I would do that. And then, you know, that's Japan's output, and, you know, the Dojin games and the, you know, stuff like Syobon Action, Flash games. Eventually, the mainstream industry realized there's potential for comedy in games again. Comedy is back on the menu. So we get stuff like Eat Lead, The Return of Mad Hazard, which is published by D3 Publisher. I don't know if you knew that or not, or remember that or not.
I actually didn't know that off the top of my head.
And this is just dire.
This is something I keep wanting to play, but I've
You
never
don't wanna
gotten
play
around
this.
to it.
You don't
I
wanna
want to
play
experience it once. I want to try it.
Well,
Like,
maybe we'll do it on this stream at some point if I really want to like torture myself and you at the same time.
It's actually on PlayStation Plus if you have the streaming tier. Like, you can stream this game, the PS3
Great.
version of it.
Good to know that's preserved in that sense. Anyway, you know, stuff like this, stuff like Duty Calls, which is got mentioned in the chat, was actually conveniently my next slide, which was the promotional tie-in freeware game to Bulletstorm, to Cliff Bleszinski's Bulletstorm. This was a parody of Call of Duty. So you could this was given away for free, and it was basically just making fun of the Call of Duty, the modern military shooter at that moment in time when that was pervasive, when Modern Warfare was inescapable. But Bulletstorm was supposed to be the cure for those ails, and it was supposed to be a comedy game in and of itself, which I guess it kind of is. Bulletstorm's not bad, but the comedy is kind of the least appealing thing about it. And Duty Calls is pretty rough.
I mean, granted, they fixed all those problems years later when they added Duke Nukem to it. Now it's funny.
Now it's flawless. And then, the biggest scourge on the parody game genre, visual novels. Joke visual novels. This is where we're at right now. Shit like Hotoful Boyfriend. Shit like that KFC dating sim.
Now, people like Hotoful Boyfriend. I ain't gonna defend KFC thing.
Itself, the original might be fine, but fuck me. Like, the wave of shit this unlocked, where every April Fool's Day joke for every game developer is putting out a visual novel version of their game. And it's just, it's not fucking funny. It wasn't funny after Hatoful Boyfriend. It wasn't funny after, like, the 50th person, after the 50th corporation made a joke visual novel. We got through most of this visual novel shit back in the, like, Flash game days, and we're still dealing with this. The only decent one of these has been, like, the Sonic the Hedgehog one, and the Death of Sonic the Hedgehog, whatever it was called. That one's okay.
The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, yeah.
It's not a dating sim, because that's just an actual visual novel, but these fucking dating sims are a scourge. And that's not to say I don't like actual dating sims on occasion. I've been known to enjoy a couple of those, but these parody ones are so fucking old hats.
There's the Dead by Daylight one.
Fuck off.
That actually did come out. Most of them aren't actually things that come out. They're just coasting on the joke of like, haha, what if it was a visual novel? That's not a real game.
And you know, we've looked at some bad games today, and we've had some bad commentary today because I've been drinking, I've been hitting the bottle. But you know, and also like it's really hard to comment over like bad comedy, like I mentioned before, which was the fatal error in judgment in this stream. But you know. So, I like to think I do know a thing or two about comedy, and I can tell you that these games are not it, chief. So, we're going to close on a more hopeful note. We're going to close on a note, one of the funnier things I've seen recently, to come out this year, as a matter of fact, and I want to get this title right.
This year, huh?
Yeah, you want those games, right? So here you go, now let's see you clear them, which also by D3 Publisher, funnily enough.
I forgot this one was on the menu.
Yeah. Oh, someone also mentioned Goat Simulator. Yeah, those are parodies like the simulator games. Goat Simulator's fine. I didn't play the Squeakquel game. But yeah, I prefer Amazing Frog for that kind of sandbox game, personally. But let's switch to 16:9, because this last game is a modern release. It is a modern PC release. And I also
Switch
know...
as well.
It is? Okay, good for them.
I believe so.
Get on that console. This is a parody game of those like mobile game ads that you see all over the place. And I swear I will have this streaming in a second.
Let me back up what I said. Yes, it is on Switch. Okay.
Would Frog Fractions count as a parody game? No, it's a surrealist game. And it's hidden within, like, another framework of another game. I feel like that's a different thing.
Now, I've been wanting this game because it is a great premise.
Yes.
Taking all those, like, fake mobile ad games and being like, well, we made them real. Now you can play them.
And I've played a bit of this.
A little.
As it turns out, like, going down the rabbit hole of like actually playing these as if they were real games, it turns out like there's almost something to them.
I mean, that's why they do it, you know, they come up with like a concept that looks kind of fun, and they say like, you know, play this game, and you go there, and it's just like a match 3 game, but maybe every 90 levels you get to play one level of that other thing. And that only happens because, like, companies got in trouble for that shit. Like, I think particularly in the EU, where, like, there were all these ads for these sorts of things, and they're like, your game has to have, like, at least some of that if you're going to make these advertisements. So they were forced to put those games into their games, but just a little bit, just enough so they won't get in trouble.
Just enough to dodge the law, man.
Yeah. And at a certain point, you would think, just make those games. If you're getting so many people downloading it on the premise of those games, make those games. Which, I guess D3 did.
D3 got around to it. D3 were the ones to do it.
This was also the company that had hands on the Katamari rerolled, right?
Yes, which is great. Let's see what Stage 100 looks like in this one. Oh boy. Christ.
Oh, this is what you get. Do you even know what the ballista does? Or the catapult there?
Yeah, it's supposed to... I guess I can't hit the dogs. Okay, good to know, I guess. That means I'm really fucked.
We're so close, though.
I guess I need to go through all these ones to really figure out, like, to see the build-up of how to get to. Let's see one I haven't done yet. There's nothing to kill in this one, so this... Oh, wait, no, I don't want to burn the money, though, right?
Nope. That's your goal, is to get that money.
Retry. Okay. I have an idea of what to do here. I fucked up.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
No, I want to get the water onto the fire. That's the thing. That's the secret to it.
Yes.
Oh, I know what to do.
I don't know. Are you much of a mobile game player?
I've been known to play a game or two on occasion.
So are you familiar with, like, these sort of, like, just mobile game ads?
Yes. I mean, those were inescapable, even just, like, on YouTube or what have you.
Now, you need to put the lava down there to make a path.
Son of a... I got one half of it down.
You stubbed your toe on the thing and died. I say, you know what I think is personally the most annoying ads?
Lay them on me.
Well, first up, well, no, I take that back. The most annoying ad is this one that I've seen showing up lately, where it literally just attempts to install a thing on your phone directly.
Ooh, that's no good.
Fuck that.
Can't get away with that legally, I wouldn't think.
Like, it's trying to literally just, like, install, like, Pinterest or something that's, like, an actual program, but it's still just directly trying to install the thing, so fuck that. Second most annoying, I will say, is these ads where they show you, like, a puzzle, and, like, it's the simplest fucking thing in the world, and, like, the person just cannot solve it. Because, like, the idea is for you to go, like, that dummy, let me download this game and solve it, because I'm smart.
Those are insidious.
But there was this one I saw semi-recently that keeps coming up, and it's like some sort of, one of those, like, puzzles where you have to, put blocks into a shape to fill up that entire shape. And they were doing the thing where it was like, you know, can you solve this puzzle? And the person keeps fucking it up. And I was like, wait, something looks weird about this one. So I took a screenshot of it, and I looked at it. It's literally unsolvable.
Of course.
They actually had an unsolvable puzzle in the ads, like, can you solve this one? And it's like, no.
I can't, actually. Thank you for asking, thank you for trying, but... I'm really good at these.
This ad, though.
I've seen the tower ads. I've absolutely seen these ones before.
I'm gonna load up my mobile game that has fucking ads in it of choice, which is Wordscapes.
And see if you get this ad straight away.
Just see what ad I get. Just see what ad I get. Turn down the volume on my phone.
So needless to say, these get more complicated as time goes on, so I'm having to do multiple. And you also are under the time limit to a certain extent here, too, so... do I want to kill the enemies first and then do the division multiplication?
Are you asking me?
I'm thinking out loud.
Okay.
Don't mind me. I think I want to do this.
I think you were divided before you multiply.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Or actually, it doesn't matter what order I do these in, because it'll still give me the same amount at the end. The question is that I want to do this before I kill the enemy, so I'm walking into the next tower with more.
Yes.
Yeah, because now I don't have enough to do. Yeah, so we might as well just...
Watch a video for a bonus gift. Sure.
I don't want to figure that one out right now. Let's do parking lot. This one I had never seen previously.
Well, this is a new one for me. It's a match 3 game where acid is filling up a room. It looks like a saw trap. And you have to match 3 to make a path down to a drain so it doesn't fill up and, like, melt this king. But the guy failed. King dead.
The king is dead.
Yeah, and now the king is, like, in a room where it's flooding. And you have to solve a maze and then do match 3. See, this could be... That's the thing, is they show you these things. It's like, that could be fun. My phone will get fucked if I do this. I'm sure. And I'm sure the actual game has none of that shit in it.
I ran over an old man.
Well,
They even have to get these cars parked, but...
They even have one of those, like, levels they're showing off in there where, like... There's someone in the cold shivering, and can you direct the fire to it?
Sorry, I can't. They're gonna die, I guess. Can I get this car out if I do that, and then that, and then that?
Video Game King says, question, does this game have the version of that one mobile game ad where you have to manage the size of a woman's ass by going to the right gates?
Probably not.
They could easily make a sequel to this game.
Yeah, there's
like
no shortage of games of this ilk, of games of this caliber.
Well, not even games, fake games of this ilk.
Fair point, yes. That is more what I meant. Oh, that one just barely doesn't clear it. Okay, there we go. Get you out of here, you out of here. I'm just genuinely doing this right now. I just want to genuinely clear this one. Which is the crazy thing, and this is sort of the conclusion I wanted to reach, that the best parody games are games you actually want to play. Novel fucking concept, right? Like, who'd have thunk that the ones that are successful are the ones that actually have, like, traditional game hooks in them, to the point where it's like, oh, like, I can actually see myself revisiting this. Shit like the Parody Interactive, like, the biggest problem with it, besides the fact that it's not funny, let's say you found that shit funny, right? Let's say that was your style of humor, God help you. How much mileage are you going to get out of that disc? Not much. You'll play it once, maybe, and you'll have seen everything there is to see in the game.
I feel like if you're the person who finds that entertaining, you're easily amused enough that you would get a lot of traction out of that disc.
You would think so, but I want to give human beings a bit more credit than that. I want to say that after you've experienced the gags once, twice, thrice, however many times, that at a certain point, you know the punchlines. You can predict the punchlines to them.
Didn't you say you played a lot of Star Wars as a kid?
God damn it. I played it a few times, I should say. I should say I played through the contents of the game maybe once or twice, some years apart, I would imagine. But ultimately, yeah, like, at a certain point, like, you can only play it so many times before you've seen everything there is to see, before you know all the answers to the quiz questions, before you know the drill of it. Whereas a game like this, yeah, it's limited in terms of, like, there's only so many levels in it, but at the same time, like, these are, like, actual games. As you're playing them, it's more than just, like, giggling at the premise of it. They actually put thought and effort into designing, like, these puzzles.
Wait a minute, I want to see something whenever you go back to the main menu. Because it looked like, when you're viewing the games on the main menu and they had that preview, it looked like they were showing the people failing at the game. If that's true, that'd be a funny touch. No, is it gonna win? Nah, fuck.
It's gonna win that one.
It looked like that.
Let's
it
see
looked
this
like that
one.
in Cash Run.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's more what we
that's
want to see.
That's a good touch, having, like, failure be the way to get you into it. This is another one I'm not familiar with.
I've seen ones like this where it's just, not this exactly, but where you're having to budget against, and I did not play this as efficiently as possible. The goal is to have as much money as possible when you cross this line. I was $1 short, basically. If I held the mouse button down for like less than like a millisecond less.
Hey, you got the girl. Got the house.
So, you know, there's actually something to be mastered here, right? There's an actual, like, skill. There's an actual challenge. There's, as I said, there's actual mechanics here, like... Oh, I missed the money there. Let's try that again, where I actually grab it a little bit. But no, shit like this is timeless in the sense that it doesn't rely on... I mean, yeah, you sort of have to be aware, privy of, like, these types of ads, and who knows how long these will last. Who knows how long a game of this ilk will be relevant for? Fuck.
Well, even outside of context and relevance, like, they still exist as games. Like you were saying, they're still games.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And, like, there is, like, an addictive nature to some of these.
Yeah, so in that sense, they're successful in terms of, like, having latched onto a formula for a game that people are going to be, like, that there is a value to this. Whereas something like a Pyst is only relevant in the moment, and barely relevant at that, and barely a parody of the thing it is ostensibly a parody of, in that there's, like, absolutely no actual gameplay to it. It should give you a bigger, better-looking house for getting the maximum amount of money. That is a mistouch there.
I've not played this yet, but I would definitely like to see a sequel to this game.
Yeah, there's plenty for them in mind. Like the level, like the Mafia bosses, the level 1 Mafia boss, level 99 Mafia boss. They could absolutely do something about that.
The thing with the gates where you have to choose, like, between the two things.
Let's see if I can get this in one. Just for funsies. Yeah. Okay, I got it all mapped out in my head now.
This one doesn't seem too hard, but maybe I'm wrong.
It's very easy to misstep in a game like this, but no, generally speaking, yeah, this is one of the easier ones that I found in this. Maybe I'm just that smart.
That's it. There you go, piece of cake, 3 stars. I know this has been very popular with streamers.
This game?
Yeah.
Good, I'm glad. This game deserves some amount of success for putting the effort in. It even has daily hooks, where you have a daily gotcha spin, and you have a daily, like, title that you unlock, and daily missions and stuff. It just needs fake ads in it, that's what it needs. It needs ads for other fake games within the game, I think.
You know what? They should have ads for, like, simple 2000 games.
That would be great. I would like that. I would appreciate that. Complicated, but who cares, noob. Or how about Delightful Demon King?
Can you not change the noob part of it?
You unlock that just as you gain IQ by doing more of the mini games.
And you still haven't gotten everything on this. Do you know what else those 2 things are going to be?
Yeah, if you clear all the minigame variations, you get a challenge mode or something like that where it pulls random games from each of the different games within this. It pulls random stages. So you'll get like a color lab followed by a pin pull followed by a number tower, right? So like in that way, yeah, they're sort of like mixing it up like in the way like a WarioWare would. I don't remember what this one is, what the yellow one is, but anyway, this is a fun game, and the name of this game again is, yeah, you want those games, right? So here you go, now let's see you clear them.
All caps with an exclamation point.
Yes.
I feel like
And
the only way to say the name of that game is to yell it.
yes, absolutely. On that note, this has been a truly torturous stream, Charkie.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry for being here.
And
I'm sorry to myself.
You're So, next time we're going to come back with actual video games. Though all that being said, I do want to show off Dear Avenger at some point, the quadrilogy. Because those at least have actual gameplay in them, unlike just having to listen to jokes. Jokes in quotation marks.
For what it's worth, we didn't get around to it. The stream's been going on for a while, regardless. But I do suggest The Looker. It's on Steam. It is totally free. It is a really good parody of The Witness. It helps if you are aware of The Witness or have played it yourself. But I think it's a good one of these. And like I said, free. Feel free to check it out.
I appreciate people saying the Star Wars parody game was awful, but the stream was great as always. If you say so.
You.
I do hope people enjoyed. I do hope there was some amusement to be had, even as we suffered. Sometimes in silence for long stretches, but again, we wanted to let the jokes speak for themselves at certain points, and that was a mistake. So,
yeah,
we'll come back at you again with an actual video game for next time. Maybe we'll get back to the Simple 2000 stream, bring that back, or we can pick another theme. We have options, we have choices.
Yes.
The Bad Game Hall of Fame will ride again. Who do I want to raid? How about... I see...
yes.
Oh, I know who I want to stream. I know who I want to raid. Sasquatchulus is playing Cyberdillo, the shooter, the 3DO first-person shooter. So that is absolutely happening.
And Defenstration Dude, yep, Looker is freeware.
So, on that note, we will return, possibly during one of the weekdays, or maybe just come back Saturday. I don't know. The solo streams they're good to do, but I miss my Charkie. So, don't let Charkie know I said that. But, thanks for tuning in. Bye!
Good night.